All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to be playing some more Shadow Empire today. Just sort of continuing on. This is episode 4 of this particular little live stream series that we've got going. We are sort of struggling because we can't really expand, so we can only really sort of build up around this area here. Actually, I just pressed the wrong thing. I think I'm okay. Yep, that's okay. I'm just hoping when I click on buttons and I haven't actually got back into the game, it's means other things could fail, but anyway, that's all good. All right, so we've found sort of other oil around the place, which we can always go and get. So we've got a couple of those. We have taken this from the enemy as well. Look, this is actually a little area. If I just go and click on it, this is a free folk cave, which will give me 100 colonists per turn, which at the moment we've only had it for 2 turns. So I've only just acquired it. There's a big AI here, so we've sort of now we're killing off essentially these raiders. The raiders have been pushed right out from these, and I just wanted to make sure I had this one selected. This is a problem simply because they're militarist. They're friendly at the moment, but with a low tolerance level for us. Really, they're not really thinking all that positively of us. And they are going to turn against us. And the trouble is that we have no protection anywhere through this big plain. I'll just go and click number 1 again. All of this is either dunes or rocky, sort of rocky ground. So there's all this is rocky plains. And we do have some dunes down the bottom through here. Well, there's just sand plains down through here. So these aren't even dunes. So they're just sand plains. If we have a look down, I don't think we've got any dunes. The way I've got this is a mod. These little icons that we sort of see through here. The little dune symbol is. Dunes have got like a double one of those if they're larger, and so you can sort of end up with like big dune areas in deserts. But these are just sandy plains versus rocky plains. So this becomes a very, very much a weak spot for any sort of defences. Like infantry out in the open here can be cut through very, very quickly. And unfortunately, all the way to Dasburg, our capital, is actually like that. So we've got also some grassy plains back out here as well. We do actually have some hills just on the outskirts over this side, and we have ruins. Ruins we can actually defend fairly well, but this is actually, it's way, way, way too open. In the south, we do have some mountains and hills, and unfortunately also in this particular game, the southern areas are, at the moment, they're hive-level arachnids. Like they're sort of like, think of Starship Troopers. So we've sort of got like a build-up of bugs in the south across there. There's a little border there because there's one group of bugs here and another group of bugs here. So we've got 2 groups of bugs that we have to then defend against, which is problematic. So what we have to do is, and because we can't get any secondary cities, like we didn't start next to any like any minor factions that actually had any sort of economy, we have to build everything up in Dasburg. So we're still in that phase of trying to get like lots and lots of industrial points. So we're sort of building up that one. We've been able to get a hold of our bureaucracy points, which has actually been good. So that's actually a good thing, and so like as we sort of go back through, if I just maybe I'll try to show these things as we go. The Empire dashboard is essentially the I guess the most critical of the elements that you need to be focused on when you're doing anything. And as we go through it, you can sort of see through here, this is the popularity score. We're respected at the moment. So this one, if I hover over it, says your population can protect you against internal unrest and external meddling. So population support is based on the average population happiness. It doesn't matter too much for us. We're playing as a meritocracy. But we do actually have a lot of people that also want to go to democracy. So we may end up as a democratic style government at some point. We don't know, but so anyway, respected is good. This is sort of like the overall, what is it? This is population support back in through that other side. You can sort of see there the support, 78, 52 from workers, just means we're not paying them enough. Everything else is pretty good. Like the averages there are nice. Word score is actually just how much we've been able to keep our word. So this is solid, which is good. That means that the people believe what we say, which is important. Virtus doesn't really matter that much yet, or we won't worry about those ones. And these will come about when the government's getting close to change. Over the other side, you can see there where the political system is meritocracy level 2. These come at a specific time, like you don't progress to these through anything you do other than just being in that meritocracy for a length of time. So current system is meritocracy, current level is level 2. Next level we reach next round. So next round we're just going to be happening to get to level 3. And the next political stratagem pack we get in 2 rounds. Now there's some special packs we get depending on what political system we have, which just cards essentially. So we end up with a group of cards that come back from them. It says if oligarchy score goes above 12, then your political system will degrade to the corrupted version. Oligarchy is the corrupted version of meritocracy, and so we're not even close to that. So we don't have to worry about that one through there. These different levels are important, but we've actually hit the important one, which was civilization level 2. So we've actually now gone beyond where we need to go with that one. The rest of them don't really matter that much at this point in time. So this is really just an indication of the text that we have. The admin level is the double square root of the bureaucratic point increase with the square root of the number of organizations you have. Doesn't really matter that much, to be honest. Civilization score is the important one, though, because this one does give me the ability to get more bureaucratic points, which is what these BPs are. So our next turn BPs are going to be 284, and you can see it's now sort of stabilised. We did receive a small bureaucratic size bonus of 46. When we first start, that bonus is really, really important. But as we start to generate our own bureaucratic points, it becomes less important. Now, these do cost, like we've still got to pay upkeep on how we get those, but they're the most important resource in the game because that's how we progress. They're all important, but ultimately that's the game. This particular one is getting this to a point where you can really, really expand, and really the only way we can really get a lot more of that will ultimately be to get another city. So we're going to need to get another city at some stage to keep on moving that up through the list, and that will take some time. And so usually by this stage of the game, you've got another city somewhere else, but not in this case. Hi Mokamars, how you going? Hi to anybody else that's joined us as well. But so this is, I'm now going to start thinking, gosh, what do we do? Do we start to look at just getting even a city close by and because we have these colonists, I can start to push people across into another city. So all these things sort of start to weigh on your overall strategy. Political points, what we have up through here, which is what we spend to play the cards, etc., and do different decisions. Credits, we're going down by 100 credits per turn, basically. And so we've actually just sold some stuff off in the last episode. So we had 200. We would have, halved that again. So we just want to have credits there. We've also brought in new things to try to sort of get the income tax up. We want to get that up to about 30%. And sales tax will sort of get this up a little bit as well. So we just sort of push these around. And that's pretty much it. All the other bits and pieces are more to do with politics, which we don't really need to worry about at this stage. But that is the name of the game. But to get to there, we need to expand. We need to be able to secure everything. So all the rest of these become more important. Actually, there's our food. Our food is maxed out. I thought I'd already traded this turn. If we go and sell food, I'll take everything we've got. It's not very much money, but we might as well sell a little bit. Let's just go and sell, say, 600 food for not much money. There we are. Now we can also reduce what we are making because it's hardly any money that we can sell this from. So I'll just go and do that. That'll just give me a little bit of a boost for the money. But there's no point in actually getting all this. If I just keep on pressing the WASD keys, which are not. You have to use the arrow keys in this game to move around. So our food is mainly coming from this location. I'm just going to go to the management screen just so I can look at everything. This is actually for Dasberg. So if you're sort of getting to this screen and you're not seeing things, just make sure you've got First Ace HQ selected and Dasberg, or whichever city you're sort of really looking at. In this case, the food that we have is the there should be a dome farm in here, but this is actually privately run, so this is a private asset. I don't have control over that. If I go and click on it, I can nationalise it for 1,000 credits, which I don't want to do, of course, because this is how the population feeds themselves. This is our one in through here. And so this one is chewing up a... what are we going there? We've got it going at 100%. Let's drop it down to say it's generating 560 per turn. Let's reduce it down a little bit. That way we also don't use up all the water. So if we actually reduce that to say 50%, then the water that we've also then got, if I just go back out to the map, the water is, what's the maximum we can have there? 2,600. Let's go and get our water up. So by moving that one down, we can then get the water. The water is super hard on this particular planet. We don't have rainfall to speak of, and so we have to mine it by like this. There's sort of like ice buried underground. There's another water there, for example. So we do actually have access to water, but only through mining is what we can really go and do. So Dead Meat has subscribed. Thank you for that. Very much appreciated. So anyway, that's going to be sort of where we are. I don't really want the private sector to be building water mines or even oil mines. They may do that. Oil, I've got a couple of oils, so they may that may be something that they end up doing. But if they do, one thing I can do is just go back to Dasberg itself and have a bit of a look at what the private sector is up to. If I go and click on this one here, which is just the population, I can see they wanted to build a surveillance station, which is actually good. I like them to build that sort of thing, which will actually just increase the security in Dasberg, which will be helpful. Sev saying, sadly, Canada lost to Morocco. Yes, I just watched, I wasn't watching, I just saw the score just before I started. So we're getting into the serious stuff now. Well, even more sadly, Australia lost yesterday to Egypt. It's funny how angry you get when you see people pretending that they're hurt. It happens... it's one of those funny things where I find it really annoying that they don't get punished for it. And anyway, I won't go on about it. It just annoys me. Too much acting in the field. It's not something that because soccer is not it's what is it, the fourth in line in terms of ball sports in Australia, in terms of football type sports. It's actually fourth out of in the line. So people aren't used to really watching it, and they're not used to the acting, and it actually makes people angry here. It says you guys are more cricket and Aussie rules. No, we're actually Aussie rules, rugby league, rugby union, and then soccer is the way it goes. And depending on which state you are in, it'll either be rugby league number 1 with Aussie rules number 2, or and then union and then soccer, or it'll be Aussie rules number 1, like rugby league, union and soccer. But soccer's always fourth basically in line. So it's sort of not something that people really tend to... They watch it, but they don't watch a lot of it in comparison to the other sports. So, rugby league is different to rugby union. They're different games. So, and then Aussie rules is different again. Which, it's good. But it's just funny. Even the ads that we have for the soccer, there's an ad that came out for one of the betting, and it's so funny. What it is this like it's about betting on the World Cup, and it's and for the graphic, what they did was have a guy fall over and then start rolling around on the ground, and he ends up rolling all the way around the ground, all the way up in the stands, and ends up coming back down and then gets sent off. It's just always funny. It's a funny little ad of just someone pretending that they're hurt. So Seb is saying, do I have a name, guy? I think you do. Let's have a look. Yep, there we go. Sev Petrock, the secretary, who will be moved out into another role fairly soon, actually. I'm surprised he's still in there. What's he got? He's got incredible skills here. Administration. Yeah, I'm not sure what we put him into. Yeah, I'm not sure what we put him into. Yeah. Hi, Began. How you going? Thanks for the subscription. That's very much appreciated. All right, let's continue on anyway. So we've still got a couple of cards that we need, a couple of decisions we need to make. Incident with a hard sentence. This is Began, actually the commander of the 2nd Light Infantry. So now this is, I can't ignore this. Okay, this is incident with a hard sentence. So I judged duty in Dasburg, and there was this band of hungry women who stole some food stores. I judged them to be summarily executed. The population of Dasburg is angry. I was so hard that there might well be some unrest. Thanks, Began. Thanks, Began, for this. This is. I'm going to reverse the decision, but I'm not going to. What are you're at 71. So when I reverse the decision. You're not going to like this, but yeah, so unrest goes up slightly. Carbon Lord relation, so that's Began's, his happiness will go backwards a little bit. So why did Began make that decision? If we go and have a bit of a look, we'll see militia is high, commerce, mind. No, there's no real reason for it. Anyway, that's okay. We can easily reverse it. So yeah, if we do that, then we lose the support of these two way too much, and so and this is going to yeah, heart goes down. These guys are 100% heart. Actually, Began is too, isn't he? No, mind. So so yeah, the heart profile is affected by these. So I'm just going to go with this one here, which will sort of be the minimal one. Go against me at your own peril. There we are. Yes. No, you're sort of someone we have to take out from this location, like out from rule, like leading this particular army group, because you're actually too valuable. You're a Cap 3 with some good skills. You should really, yeah. No, it's sort of. I have to think about what we do with you. Anyway, let's reverse the decision. So, yeah, and he went down by 15 points. That's okay. At least it was only one and not the other two. Battle Dojo discovered in Dasburg. Great. This is awesome. This is really awesome. This gives us... so we've discovered a Battle Dojo. It is quite well hidden, but the flow of trainees caught our eye. We could enlist the dojo's instructors and improve the experience of all our militia units by 7%, or we could allow the Battle Dojo to continue its operations and receive 200 recruits per round. So, I want the recruits. So if we the autocracy goes up if we do that one. Allow the Battle Dojo to continue. So this one here, we're going to end up getting a lot more recruits. And you can see we've already got like a fair few, but we're going to need a lot. We're going to need a big army in this game, I think. To take on that major faction. So this one doesn't like autocracy anyway. This is the governor of Dasburg. But so let's just allow the Battle Dojo to continue. Hopefully it's close to Dasburg and not miles away. Let's see if we can find it. So if we just go back in, press number 1, and we should find another one of these type of areas. Please be around here. What's that one? No, that one's not it. Where are you? Oh, is that it there? Battle Dojo. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we've got the Battle Dojo right here. If you just go to the asset. So this is actually a Battle Dojo, so a place of training for warriors. It attracts many young men eager to learn the art of combat. In exchange for you leaving the masters of the dojo alone, they supply you with recruits. So we get 200 recruits per turn. So that is that's great. That means we're going to end up with instead of 500, 700 now coming back in. Hi, Pixel. How are you going? Yep, Dojo is awesome indeed. Wasn't Dojo one of the ones that gives amazing leaders on occasion? I'm not actually, you might be right. I think you might be right. Yeah, I think they might get some cards from that actually, which would be really quite nice. Anyway, that's a really important one for us. So we'll sort of continue that one. I'll just press number 1 again so we can see. We've sort of got this thing surrounded a little bit. Have we moved everything? I don't know if we have. This one here, I'm sort of just trying to sort of keep these under control for a little bit. I might just leave it. These ones might break back out again. If I go and hit this one, it's 11 to 1 odds, which is good odds against this particular group. It's only a smallish number, but the actual the initial recon points are only 67, which is really, really bad. So I'm going to cancel that. One thing I can do is just have a quick look at my aeroplanes. So these are actually ready to go again. I might do a bombardment of this group. This group has got armoured cars in it, which can actually fire back against these ones. But let's actually go and strafe these with our little ultralights. So if you sort of can imagine it, we're sort of like in a death world where there's sulfuric acid rain and stuff like that, or hardly any rain at all. But it's sulfur dioxide, I think, is the actual is what the atmosphere mainly consists of. So it's a horrible little world. But we've got these little ultralights which will be sort of flying across with some machine guns, and we'll just strafe these guys. So let's go and do this. One thing I will need to do is to try to get in behind it, actually, just to block it off. But if I can do that, it's then going to release the allow me to then surround this one a little bit more effectively anyway. So let's go and do that. Yep, so with this one here, if I go back into the, what's that one called? This one is called the map order modes. And we're going to do an air attack. So with that one there, I can actually attack into different locations here. So I'm just going to go and right click, air attack. And so we're now going to be strafing. Oh, there we go. We actually killed one straight away with the first run. And the recon is going up, just notice, which is the important thing. And we killed 2. Wow! and so these guys have actually now also just retreated away. So they're trying to retreat back, but they've got nowhere to go in here. Now, by doing that, we've actually also diminished them enough that really they don't have. So they've now lost. That was a really good attack. So you can see there the value of the aircraft if they can work effectively. Let's just have a look and see. This one was on rocky plains, so again, no protection for the guys. If we have a look at the actual at this particular slaver group, it's now down to just 100 slavers, and we do actually now have recon on this particular area of 155, which is enough for us to be able to see things pretty clearly. So so in this case, there's no nasty surprises with what we can expect to sort of see through here. Also, they're what they can sort of project back out. They did actually have a line down through here, which connected them through. That's now gone as well because they've just completely lost everything. Their readiness is down to 4, which means it's a multiplier. So if they were, let's just say that they had 100 hit point, 100 attack points or damage points, and they had a readiness of 4. Those 100 would be 4. So they are now extremely isolated and extremely weak. So we can just roll in now with our militia force into here to actually just finish them all off. So I'm just going to go back to the M for movement and right click. I'm not going to add anything else in. See how the odds went down? That's because our recon went up and we can see more about what they're doing, which means that there would have been some nasty shocks if we had a run in without the recon. So it's still good enough. I'm just going to go and attack. There we go, straight away, bang. Just the one of the little armoured cars came and did it right in the very opening round. Destroyed it, done. So that gives us a bit more that we can then sort of go and do in here. Actually, why couldn't I move into there? I thought I could have. I'll leave that where that is now. So these militia forces are fairly useful with what they're doing. Actually, I can move up to there. I'll take that. This is a bit more. There's a bit more heat going on here. We'll be able to take this on fairly soon by bringing these up and surrounding this one and then destroying that one next turn. Okay, that sort of gets that turn done, I think. We've left a big gap in here. If these guys do get aggressive, we are going to have some troubles. Now, what we're wanting to do here is, if we have a quick look at the... actually, what have we got? Let's just go back to the reports. I forget what organisations we have. So we've got the Supreme Command Council, which is what we start with, the Economics, the Military, and then the Interior Council, who's only just come in, I think. So, yeah, so we've got these. These are basically just going to be the thing. We haven't even started to get anything from this just yet. But the Interior Council is going to give us our taxation and stuff like this. That means that really when we build our first group of tanks, we're going to be building them with what we currently have. And I think that's probably what I want to aim for next, because that really is going to be the big issue. Let's just go and plan for that right now. If we just go back into here. And if we go into raise formation, actually, if I press, one thing I do like to do is just press the L key to just see the existing logistics. Let's just say I'm going to need to end up building one back out through here. You'll see through here that there's 1,100 and either 85 or 35. I can't read it clearly. Logistics at that point. Then it goes down. The minimum one that we see is 893 back at the Battle Dojo coming out of Dasburg. And so in essence, even though we've got like a lot of logistic ability here, the minimum, like to get anything from Dasburg out to that location, that's the choke point. That's the smallest area that has to then go through, which sort of diminishes the amount of logistics. So let's just go and see how that then works. If we just go into here and go to raise formation, so just plan this one ahead. We want to have battalion level with an operational HQ, and we want to have like an actual. Actually, it's not even there. Where's that? These guys, we've got the light infantry, the machine gun, motorized light infantry, and siege infantry. So we can't actually build tank groups. They may have changed that in the game actually to stop, so that you actually have to go and get your like the staff council to be able to then start to make them, which is actually really cool. It's a really cool idea. If that's the case, then if we go back to independent and then go to the next page, there's a recon battalion there, which I can build with there's only 360 sort of industrial points there, and logistics as well. We can certainly cover that with logistics. So if we go back into this one here, we do actually have the independent light tank battalions. We might have to get a few of them to supplement the existing infantry initially, and then sort of figure out different ways to do it. They cost 460. I can start to bring one of them out now if I wanted to. I've got enough metal. Metal's not a problem on this world. It could be on some worlds, but not in this world. So I think I'll wait. What we might do is let's just go and have a quick look and see if Dasburg has got anything that needs to be built in it. Quite often there will be. The solar panels, energy-wise, we are going up a little bit. We're going to need a bit more. Let's just go into construction in this case. Mining won't be anything we need to worry about. Energy. Now, to get this next level of solar panels would be really handy. And I can afford it. I can afford to get it. That would then keep me going for a lot of our future expansion. This one here, for example, getting Industry 2 would be really, really good, which we can also almost do now. This would then really ramp up what we're doing at the moment to get this upgrade. But for that, I'm going to need a lot more energy. So maybe we look at trying to just get a few tanks out interspersed with other things. Now we also have the bureaucratic officers number 2, which I can get that one very easily, but again requires this energy. That's going to give me 450 bureaucratic points. Right, well that is definitely something we want. So I think we'll go back to energy. I'm going to ultimately end up getting greedy here, and I shouldn't do it. I'm going to be rather than getting tanks, I'm going to start to get all this stuff prepared. So I'm going to start this upgrade. Yep, we've got a fair few turns, but I think in the middle there somewhere I'm going to have to try to get some tanks. Okay, that will do us, I think, for this one. We'll just keep them surrounded in through here. These will get aggressive soonish, I would assume, and we still have to keep a group to keep these arachnids at bay. We sort of see wandering in like across through here. We may have to get another infantry group just to try to hold the against the bugs, but we'll see how we go. Actually, this one here I wanted to move across. Just go back to movement. And we'll just push back against this border at the top here a little bit. All right, that'll do us for this turn. Away we go. Hi, Racky the Red, how you going? Is that water or vodka? Now they're moving. Oh, they're now attacking that group of armoured cars. So at the moment, everyone's just sort of, oh, here come the bugs. Now we're seeing this group of hives coming through here as well. Suffer no losses. Okay, what do we got? So your organisation, 4 new stratagems, non-aggression pact. This is major. Relation has to be at least 60. We're at 33 at the moment, so that's not going to be able to be done. Tariff. Yep, mission impossible. So if we really focus on our political power, we should be able to perform a miracle. So what did we get here? This is an interior policy stratagem, normally executed by the Interior Council. Base difficulty will be 100. Difficulty for generating fate points is 50. Difficulty points more. Leadership role will be made by the character name. That's okay. We know who it's going to be. It's going to be our Interior Council guy. So and that's okay. We've also got offer protection for a miner, which we haven't come across any miners. All right, that's fine. That's all we got, and no decisions this turn. That's really, really interesting. Okay, well, they got smashed. So this little group down in here has been absolutely obliterated through the attacks that happened through there. I don't know if you saw that. If we go back to the history, we'll see it happen here. So if we just go, I don't know if it'll go to the next battle. It's going to be, yeah, there we goes. So again, they use their aircraft to bombard this, and they absolutely destroyed this. And then if we just sort of step it forward, then they sort of move in, and then they attack with combined forces, and it then sort of stays there for a length of time. Just go back through, then the bugs will move up. So we sort of see what actually happened there. But anyway, that's essentially the history of what happened that particular turn. So so they've been decimated, but then we've only got 55 recon on that little area. I think I'm going to leave that. Oh, hang on, yeah, I'm not at war with them, so I can't do anything with those. I don't want these getting out anywhere. And they're also being hunted down at the top of the map by these guys. Now they've got a town here called Salzburg, which is if the combat starts, that would become a major target for me, because that would be the start of me getting a second city. So they're investing in this town. This will literally only be an airfield. That's pretty much all it will ultimately be. But it is a town, and so it is something we could take over if we needed to. And it's sort of a good distance away from Dasburg for that to be something that we look at. And I'm almost 100% sure we're going to need to do this. These guys, let's have a quick look and see. They've still got 100% readiness. I don't really want to use my aircraft to soften this target up. I wouldn't mind getting rid of this one. I might just go in with this militia, even without the recon. It's only 6-1 odds, but let's just do it anyway. Oh, they gave up straight away, so they'd had enough. They were broken. And if I move up, yeah, 1.2 to 1. I'll just stay where I am there. Let's move that one up into there. This is completely surrounded. We can take this one on next turn, just when this thing's got its... I want to use the militia for these attacks. Okay, that's all fine. Bugs are a bit of a problem down the bottom there. You can see we're going backwards now with this, with the industrial points. We're also going backwards with our machines, but that's going to be all right. Nothing else for us to really do here. So let's end our turn here again. Actually, I'll read a few of the comments. Sorry, I have missed a bit there. I missed a lot, actually. Just bear with me. I'll just go and tab across. Where did I get up to? So Raki the Red saying, I think that the dojo can give the Sensei Cap 5, give a Sensei Cap 5 leader. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be good. Expensive but worth it, absolutely. Weather on this planet sounds dreadful, says Pixel. It is. It is a death world. If you're into Warhammer, death worlds are sort of worlds that are out to kill you, and this is one of them, where the environment, everything is against you. There are aliens, like alien creatures on this world that are also have got zero value, but they've got like a sort of like a sulfur dioxide aspect to them. We haven't come across any of those just yet. The arachnids are not native to the world, but they live on the world. So these are sort of like bugs that have come into the world. I think I'm saying with the lore of Shadow Empire, would those guys have ever seen planes before? Just suddenly this big metal monster comes out and mows everyone down. It's yes, they would because like everyone's sort of starting with those sorts of things, and they're not going to be big planes. These are going to be literally ultralights at this early stage. So these are tiny little open, like I always just imagine wings with like an open cockpit with machine guns attached, just so they sort of come in slowly, fly across, sort of kill everything off. So they're not big. We can eventually get more, fighter jets and stuff like that. But at this stage, they're literally just going to be what you'd expect to see in Mad Max. I think is sort of the way I would actually imagine them. So, where do we get up to? Seth was saying, I usually farm the Sensei for a couple of his pupils before, as they guarantee cap 3 at worst. Can take like 10 turns before it refreshes the option in the city interaction. Yeah, I can't remember what to do with those, to be honest. Beamson saying, is it just me, or those counters need a bit more shadow? Would that be possible to mod? It is Shadow Empire after all. So you mean in around here? I think someone has done a mod for doing that. I'm pretty sure there is a mod actually for that. I think so. Yeah, it's but I can't remember. That was from a long time ago. I think this is the game that you could do that with, where somebody had done something to actually tweak those. Okay, so where did we get up to? I'll just go keep on. I'll skim past a lot of these. Okay, a good bug is a dead bug. Absolutely. Join the mobile infantry and save the world. Yes, the spider bugs have gotten massive on some of my games, eating up even weaker mages. Yes. Well, this is what we're going to have to be very. This is why we need armored cars. We need tanks. We need all sorts of stuff to contend with those. Raki is then saying, I think the bugs might be a bit bugged themselves. Every game I've played since they were introduced had hives. Yes, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to grow, and then they go from hives to swarms to whatever the last stage actually is. There was a rework of the bug menace on one of the latest updates. Yes, yeah, big one. Yeah, planetary generation included. Yep. So like a crop duster kind of thing. Yeah, that's sort of what I would assume it to be. Yeah, very much like that. That's how I would visualize it. Long time watcher on YouTube. I love Shadow Empire. I'm playing it right now. There we go. Thanks, Suvarov. And Stardaggers has arrived on YouTube. I've got my. By the way, guys, if you are interested in this and you're thinking, oh, where is it on my normal YouTube channel? This is on my second, or actually technically my third YouTube channel, which is at DazTactic Live. So at youtube.com/AsDazTactic at DazTactic Live. Hang on, start again. youtube.com/ at the @ symbol DazTactic Live. There we go. Don't know where I was getting all the .coms and stuff at the end of that, but it's not at datastacticlive.com. It's not that at all. So we've got a bit of a these guys have to try to hold the line against these bugs if the bugs become aggressive. And these guys here are holding the line as well. So we've got like a few different groups. We're going to need to get another machine gun group to help hold the line in these planes. So the planes are again going to be a difficult thing, a difficult prospect for us. Now I'm just going to keep on sort of I've got to be careful here in terms of that I've got to stay inside where my supply lines actually run. So I'll just stay where I am there. I won't do anything else out this side. I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything of value out this way. The ruins here are of value. That would be good for us to get hold of. But we have a lot of threats, so it's really just a matter at this stage of trying to hold on a little bit. Okay, everything else is good. I'll just make sure there's nothing else in here that we need to be concerning ourselves with. No, that's all okay. And that'll do us, I think. So we'll end our turn here again. They're moving away from the border. I'll start to put pressure on us soon. And that's when we're going to need to have... Like we have to really start to think strategically fairly soon, I think. Okay, we gain joint struggle. This is actually the next level of our government, of meritocracy. We see 4 political stratagems. Actually, so this one here, we've got psychological screening. So this is actually a... You'll see the borders. There's one that's a bit different, and there's another one there that's a bit different. So... This one here is, it'll tell us what, this political stratagem belongs to the meritocracy category. This one here belongs to the democracy strategy, so that border there is democracy. This one here looks like autocracy. Yeah, it's an autocracy one through there. So we've actually picked up these different ones. Now what we've got is, we can't see because of his head, but there's asterisks. Now we've got a, this one's a big one actually, so we've got a massive asterisk in through here. We've got 2, looks like maybe only 1 there, and then a 3 there. So the level of asterisk is just how rare the card is. And so in this case here, this is psychological screening. So HR gets psychologists at the interview table. They'll filter out the lunatics. So this effect will provide you with the psychological screening regime feat. So the regime feat effect, so HR gets psychologists all at the interview table. They'll filter out the lunatics. New leaders have minus die 20 on egotism and ambition. All right, so the egotism and ambition aspect will go right down. As political stratagem belongs to the meritocracy category, it is uncommon. Stratagem defined in the political stratagem pack. Normally executed by the director of the Interior Council, and so we actually have that particular council now that we can actually make use of. No role required for this stratagem. We'll provide you with the psychology screening regime feat. There's no negative with that. To get egotism and ambition down is going to make the leaders, with future leaders, very, very compliant. So that's a good one for us to just play. This one here is an actual combat trainer. So in this case, gives the selected unit the combat trainer unit feat. This political stratagem belongs to meritocracy. Again, it's uncommon. Normally executed by the director of the staff council. Now we don't actually have a staff council, but that'll be the Supreme Command Council, I think. We'll provide you with the unit feat combat trainer that does the following. The trainers accompany most troops into combat and ensure their XP increases at a higher rate than normal. Double XP gain of troops embedded with them. Right, so that's if we are going to have like a, I don't know if that can be applied to the Supreme Commander. Like that would be interesting. I don't know if that can be done there. Because he doesn't actually go into combat with them. That's also could be a bit negative. I think I might save that. Change the budget. So this one here, time to change the budget. You all know it's necessary. It's a political stratagem pack. Your next budget change will be without relation repercussions. Okay. Oh, this is good. Okay, so we can actually play this to reshuffle the amounts, because at the moment, when you take stuff away from one of the councils, they react poorly. So, so that's a good one. We can just play that whenever. And false flag is a rare one. So this is a rare stratagem. Must be played on a major regime. So now this is going to be to actually create like a war. We'll make the relations with a major regime go down. So this is not something that we want to be playing just yet. We want to be trying the opposite, but this is an autocracy one. So we won't be playing that one. Militia enthusiasm, so that one goes up. Official gift, recruit junior, yep, that's okay. Export tariff increase, normally executed, this is okay. Difficulty would be 70, yeah, we can do that one easily. And we have then trade. This is a major diplomacy stratagem, normally executed by the Foreign Affairs Council, which we don't have just yet either. Boland's saying some of the training unit stances can be applied to the main HQ. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that. So yeah, there we go. So Suvarov is saying if psych screening always makes headaches. All right. So where are we running our road? To the southwest? No. I want to stay away from those bugs, to be honest. So I'm just going to keep them locked off. We are going to be fighting this major sooner rather than later, I would guess. So, yeah, okay. That's trade to take place. You need to have a relation of at least 40. Yes, we could end up doing that, but then I've got to be more friendly. We've got 2 decisions to make this time. Diplomatic, here we go. What have we got here? Resettlement proposal. An envoy from Bulgaria has proposed us to accept a small group of 1,300 rather special refugees. They are outcasts in Bulgaria because of their religion. However, they are also great artists and scholars. Should we accept these refugees into our nation? And the thing is, yes. So if we do go and do this one, there's no, like, we won't refuse. There's only one negative in through here, which happens to be Boland. Boland, the advisor, doesn't like this, but everyone else does. And so this will cost us 1 PP. Morality goes up. Relation goes up with this particular group, the Lord of Bulgaria. And meritocracy goes up by 10. So that's fine. So yes, that's a bit of a no-brainer. That's a lucky one for us. And so how much did the relations... It went up by 10. So that's now got to that 40 points. We could play that trade card now. All right, that's good. Meritocracy went up by a lot as well. That's a good one for keeping the meritocracy where it is. So militia learns from experience. So we have an opportunity to place some very experienced mercenaries currently employed by a private organisation into our militia units. The militia is open to the idea of integrating these strangers into their ranks to learn from them. The mercenaries are looking for a new home and do not ask for anything in return. Will you allow it? We got yes, but let's pay to incentivise more mercenaries to join. So we can spend... I don't want to spend... This is too much credits. So even though it, like Boland, it really is wanting that, he's wanting even more, I'm just going to go yes. Yes, sir. So militia units went up by 10% experience points. That's okay. All right. That's that bit done. So we've actually, we are making headway with our good friends over here. So this is, Bulgaria is now 43. So we can play, now we actually don't have a foreign affairs council, but if we go to the strat cards, go to the majors. So we've got this trade one, allows trade. So you need to have diplomatic contact with the target regime. So open contact is, okay, so this is a major diplomacy strategy. So we probably do need to have a foreign affairs council. With diplomacy contact is at level 0. This is a major regime, not executed a stratagem on this term. It's not an alien native regime, right? So difficulty is modified by your word score, which our word score is good. So difficulty is 37. It's going to be played by the Supreme Command Council. Now, Mind is not great. She is really someone that we need to shuffle out from that role, I think, at some point. Or we need to get like a Foreign Affairs Council. If we got the Foreign Affairs, we'd probably be able to keep that relationship going fairly well. It might be something that we could do. But non-aggression pact, what do we need? Do we need to be at 60 there? If we open up contact, open up trade, and then get the non-aggression pact, that would then start. We could also do the gift to improve relations, but again, it's all this is all Foreign Affairs Council stuff. It may save our bacon to actually go and invest in a Foreign Affairs Council right now, and have a look at the relations in through here. So if we go and have a look at the what we want to be doing here, if we go to the which one is it? We've got technical skills, command, interpersonal. If we go into here with diplomacy and just see who the highest is, see Boland is actually the best in diplomacy. Which is good, which is actually good. She also has a little bit there, but nothing much really. I mean, she's only around because she's got a natural relation point of 100. So she's just staying there. You can see there Liz doesn't like us at all. She'll be leaving soon enough. Probably cause issues for us on the way out. But I think we put Boland in as the Foreign Affairs Council. He's cap 3, so he's capable. All the cap 4s, except for the secretary. Actually, the secretary, Sev, incredible intelligence. I think when we get the Model Design Council, we might put him in as one of the researchers. Yeah, let's get Foreign Affairs sorted. So we'll get that one done pretty much straight away. So we'll go back and we go to our secretary, we call them, and we say we want a new organisation to come in. I think we need to do this soonish rather than later. So rather than waiting for the game to do it, let's just do it this way. I'll go back to the map. And so we want to bring in a Foreign Affairs Council. It's going to cost me 26 political points. Let's go and do that. So we'll bring that one in. That will be next turn. So it'll be a few turns before we can sort of really do anything with that. One thing we can see is we can actually have a bit of a look at at the groups that are actually in here. So this is the militia forces that they have. Oh, that's just militia. No, that's not going to count. That's not their actual troops. So we can't see their actual troops. And really, this group in here now is struggling quite a lot. I'm just going to go and attack this with the militia. There we go. Destroyed it. We didn't lose anything. That's good. And we'll just sort of keep... I might sort of start to move these back down around the place now. So we'll still keep a line. Just running through here a little bit. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That way we can start to bring these down to protect against the bugs for when they do start to sort of move down into these areas. I don't like how much they're moving on the border. So we'll sort of move them back, or at least away, so we can actually sort of quickly go and do things from there. Go back to Dasburg, have a quick look. See how they're saving up for an oil well community? Which is not what we want them to do. So they're going to be building either here or here. They'll build a road to it, but that's their next thing. So if we have a look and see the assets in Dastopia, they've now got the police station, light industry. They just finished a library. So that's good. They're building good stuff. It's just that I don't want them building I don't want them taking my resources. I want them for me. In fact, we've now maxed out again with our current oil. So the oil well here, this oil derrick is going at 25 production. I might just mothball it for now. So that basically turns off production. Just because we're maxed out with this. We just don't have the equipment to make good use of the oil. So that's coming down. Ammunition, we do need to get an ammo factory as well in Dasburg. If you just go back to construction, solar panels number 2 is being built. 1 turn left there. That will be okay. So that will then give me a big boost to my energy. And if we just go inside Dasburg, if we just have another quick look at construction again. So mining. This one here. Now we're going to lose one more of the machines. We're going to need more machines. This will be important for us to get as well. So we need a couple more machines for that. Industry 2. Eventually, we're going to need this one. As soon as we can get that, that's going to be a really big one for us. Bureaucratic officers. I definitely want to get this as soon as I can get it as well. So that one doesn't require machines, and it's actually fairly cheap to get. I won't build it yet. I'll wait until we've got this under control. So we just wait one more turn, then we'll start to build that one there. The other cards we're going to play, let's have a quick look at those strat cards. So we'll come back for this one when when we can actually go and do that one. The miners, haven't met any of those just yet. Covert ops, not really anyone to be able to do that one just yet. The nation cards. So we've got change the budget, which we don't want to do just yet. Psychological screening. This one here. So belongs to meritocracy. So we'll go and play this particular card. So this one here, this one then it becomes like a thing that's just part of what we then go and do. So if I just go and execute the stratagem, it is just literally something that we end up doing. So we end up essentially just getting like people that don't have ego or ambition. So we require psychological screening regime feat. This now is like in a different area of what we end up having. So that's a good one. And we've got a skill building seminar back up through here. Difficulties based on the inverse esprit de corps. So this is difficulty is 88. It's a little bit high. Mission impossible. Give you 2 extra fate points. I've already got 4. I think I'm okay with that. Bonald saying we're still scurrying around with super basic industry this late. Yes, it's how far in are we? It's turn 19, so still early. But we have to build tall in this one because we don't have any expansion prospects. That's all okay. So tariffs. Increase import tariff increase. So in this case, tariff normally executed by the Interior Council, administration of school roll. Yep, there we go. So this one, increase import tariffs by 25% with a specific regime. So if we go and do that one, if I execute it, the target will be Bulgaria, which I don't want to piss them off, so I'm not going to do that. We've got the export tariff increase as well, which again will be against a major regime. So tariffs are not what we want to be adding. Zones, and through here we have Boomtown, which was I've got a couple of those, which is actually good. We've got the Thunderous in through here, which I don't really want just yet. So look at your government. This is will increase happiness and loyalty with a maximum. Yeah, okay. Don't need that yet either. None of these we actually need, so I'm going to be okay there. We have a fair few different things with leaders, but I won't worry about those either at this point in time. some of these earlock. What does this one do? Yeah, reduces elected leaders' corruption level. Okay, we don't need to worry about that one. Cultural integration. So this is a okay, we'll make them become like us. Yeah, that's okay. We won't worry about that either at this stage. Units. This can be then played on different units. We won't worry about those either at this point in time. All right, that'll do us. We'll just leave it where those strat cards are. We won't play any of those just yet until we've sort of got like the Interior Council. Everything else is looking good there. So yeah, the ammunition we'll need to get all these different things built, unfortunately. But it's just the just getting on top of the industrial points at this stage is a bit of a limiting factor. Our food is now going down slightly. Water is yeah. I mean, we're selling it, but it's only for a very small amount. All right, let's end our turn. Hopefully Bulgaria stays friendly. And it'll be Boland's job to look after them. Suffer no losses. So Cyril saying, I voted for this game on the Roach Council, but no one else did. I don't know what the Roach Council is. Here we go. We discovered Gore's small arms, partially based on some ancient text. We studied. We came up with the idea of using much smaller projectiles as bullets, but launching them at higher speed. These Gore's rifles might well obliterate enemy personnel armor. So that's good. So that's a good one for us. But it's not what we want. We want combat armor. So we're just going to keep on going. Admin level is reached, and we get a Fate Stratagem pack for that. So we get a Gargantuous. Found the most heavy of GR tanks. It may not get any heavier than this. This is so this one is going to use energy. The Galactic Republic stuff. So this is a monster tank. A monster tank. All right. So then we've got traveling teachers. So greater purpose. This is a Fate Stratagem on a friendly zone. Will just increase the private school level, which will then increase the overall happiness and cultural aspect of it. Exotic combat drugs. So this one managed to obtain a one-time dose of Shikasai. It can provide an immediate boost to attack value in all of our troops. Combat bonus goes up by 50%. And we've got bad rations in through here. Yeah, let's not worry about it. We won't do that one. Okay, silver retirement. Military propagandist. That's okay. Right. Increase worker happiness. We'll just, is it 50 points? We could increase it. Okay, so we can increase their salary. Our money is we should start to correct itself fairly soon. I might go and do that. Like if we just go into Dasburg. And so it's a level 4 city, but the population, this is below par. All right, I'm going to call him. We're going to give zone orders. We've got 6. Actually, before I do that one, that's it for now. Let's have a look and see what these are first. We've got the national budget, which we have to sort out fairly soon. Organisation decisions. We need a new director in through here. Don't want her in that role at all. Zone decisions. So ancient statue discovered in Dasburg. So we discovered a magnificent ancient statue buried in the sand. It dates all the way back to the Galactic Republic era. Plenty of precious metals have been used in its construction. If we scrap it, we will gain 1,500 credits, or we could make it an effort to clean it up and restore it to its former glory. It would please our populace and gain us 1 political point per turn. The money is worth more, but I'm going to clean it up. So I'll just do that one there. Yeah, we'll make it as just so we have something a bit more cultural in Dasburg. So we'll just go and do that one. The 1 political point is nothing. It should be 10 or something more meaningful than 1. Diplomacy, senator extraction. Oh, here we go. A former senator from Bulgaria has been living in Dastopia for years. He fled to us after his country abolished its senate. He was welcomed because he offered a share of his great knowledge with us. However, now Bulgaria is requesting his extradition. If we don't cooperate, they threaten to make life harder for our traders operating in their nation. So will we extradite? And actually, yes, our trade is more important. Actually, this is good. I didn't think we would do that. I didn't think we would do it. Interesting. So yes, of course we will. I mean, we had to anyway, because we can't have these guys attack us. We sort of we're playing second fiddle to them because they're bigger and stronger than us. So there we go. Relation with, it went up by another 10 points. That gets us to 50. One more if we start to play some of those big ones in through there. So we'll go that way. So now we just have the two organisation decisions. So I'm going to go across to my advisor, Boland, and we're going to extract you from this role here. So you're even just using diplomacy with what you're currently doing. So his diplomacy score is going way, way up, which is great. So we're going to call you. We're going to relieve you from your job, and we're going to give you a better job. There we go. So, so you're going to be now. You're now a reserve pool member. We go back to the game, and then you are going to be. Actually, what I might do is I might actually go and bring in another junior as well before we do this. Just go to the strat cards, go to nation. I've got a couple of mercs. I've only got one junior. These are 49. I might throw one of these merc units in because they're going to be better than the junior sometimes. Let's go with one of those. Who do we get this time? Cap 2. Good war skills. Lead from front line. Yeah, egotism's low, but ambition was high. All right, it was probably lower than what it was supposed to be, but anyway. So Ada Castor, well, she can be our advisor, I guess. We can just sort of end up with her doing different bits and pieces. She's also got reasonable diplomacy, but nothing like what we've got. So we'll just go and exit out of that one. That wasn't really worth getting. So if we go back to our cards here and org decisions, so yeah, so Boland is now in here. So his suitability ranking is 66. And we'll appoint. There we go. So I need some time to take over the helm here, but expect me to be in full charge very soon. So there we go. So relation diminished with -15, but that'll be okay. All right, that's all good. So he's down at 59 at the moment. Now, with what we end up having to do here is we need to... This is the major diplomacy. I'm thinking that's going to probably be more important. Let's make it, say, a 70-30. I just can't see us really needing the minors because we haven't come across any that are of any, that are really of any value. So we'll confirm that. And the national budget allocation. So we've got the Economic Council is number 1. Supreme Command Council down through here. Interior, Foreign Affairs has to have less than the others. So let's give the Economic Council, I'll lock that in at that point. Military research can go up a little bit. I'll just lock it in for now. We'll just do the individuals. Interior I'll get up as well. And Supreme Command I'll just lock in as a little bit. What I'll do is I'll push this one down to say 15-ish, or even less, say 13. And that gets the military research up to 24. At what expense? So I might bring that one down a little bit and give the interior a little bit. So just drop that budget down slightly. Well, if I do that, it's 22, 22, 19, 24. Let's lock that in. Reduce that by 1. Gets that up to 20. Let's do this. And the Interior Council we have is quite good. It may be too... No, it's too much for that. I'll go back there again. And I will go back down for 2 there. I need this. I need more going into military research at this stage. So we'll confirm that. There we are. Yep, Boland went down by -8 because we did actually take his budget away. So Boland is now not all that happy with us, but he is in charge now of the foreign affairs. So we should be able to now go and play those cards. So strat cards in through here. If we just go back into the majors and we go into open contact, So this will be, and we need to have a target. The target will be Bagavia. And their relation with us is 53. Difficulty is only 37. So he's going to be, so that's what we have to get across. And he's got a diplomacy skill roll of 1 die 100 plus 66. So he's definitely going to be well and truly above this. So let's go and execute the stratagem. So he rolled 100. Now I don't know if we can play another one of these cards. If we go to this one here, yeah, we've already executed one through there. Trade is going to be the same. So we only do one per turn. So that's good. So we've now made contact. So so Boland is now making contact with them. Good. Everything else is just sort of thumping along. I feel that we can possibly move away from this zone. I might move this one up just to sit on that area. I think that it's really just that little area at the top there that we need to finish off. Let's go and just do that next turn. I'll keep one of them there, but we should be able to start to bring these back around now to help out against the bugs. This if we can get a friendly relationship happening at the top here, this is going to make this protection a lot better, which would be good. Now this, I'm worried about seeing the roads either go up there or down in here. I mean, I really don't want them building infrastructure, but it looks like they've got their heart set on it. It looks like we've got some red in there, so okay, there's something in there. We don't know what that is. So this is this area through here is Rathura's territory, but I've got no idea what's in this particular territory. Whatever it is isn't moving around much. What we could do is do a recon. So we can just go down to here and just do an air recon. I can't go over the top of it. I can't quite reach it. No, it's at the limits of how far we can go. That's okay. All right. Okay, so we'll just stay where we are. I think that we've bought ourselves a bit of extra time over here, so we can still just keep on working on our infrastructure. Let's go back into Dasburg, go to the assets. So we now have... Yep, so we've now got solar panels level 2, which means that our energy will go up a lot next turn. This is good. So we've got that there. Let's just go back into construction at this location. And we've got things, for example, like we do want to get this one here, but I think what I want to do first is to get this one here. Now it's going to chew up almost all of the extra energy that we've actually just acquiring. But actually, what about energy level 2, 3? Yeah, we'll have to get that soon as we build these things up. Anyway, let's do this one here. We can afford that, so we'll get that in 3 rounds. All right, that's a big one. That's going to allow us to, again, just keep on sort of accelerating forward with all of our meritocracy type stuff. I'm going to open up this whole border. Ultimately, I'll just leave a few of the low-level militia forces just to protect that border. They shouldn't, like if we can just be friendly with them, that'll be enough for us, I think. That'll do us. We'll end our turn here. Those bureaucratic points are just so important. Here come the bugs. They're moving up. They're moving in. These hives. Okay, so elections have been held, and the Democratic Superior Party, the old majority, won the elections with 58% of the vote. So it's pretty close. You can see the various people around on the walls there, and called Mindy or whatever her name is, the terrible one. Let's go with metal deposits in Dasburg. That's good. And the organisation created 4 new stratagems. Yeah, there's nothing else. Oh, increase income tax. That's what we want. Been waiting for that card. Now, Liz Farn River has dropped to 45. That's okay. I don't mind that. She can go. She's only a tier 1, a cap 1 person. So the bugs are coming up. Here they come. They're on the way. Going to move that one into there. Now, we don't know what's in here. What I might do is just go and do another one of these attacks. So I'll actually attack this. So that was X, I think it was. Yeah, air attack mode. There we go, destroyed that one. And recon is getting up there now. Wow, that was effective. These guys are effective, like little ultralights. And we got it up to 111 recon, which is good. So there's only one group left there. So we'll just go in with these guys. Just press the M key, go back to movement again, and regular attack. I can just use one. There we go, destroyed it straight away. It's really handy being able to do things like that, like to make use of both. Move these down now. Now we're going to have to shuffle across the other side. These guys here are our machine gun infantry, which are going to be much more effective than these guys. These are not machine gun. These are just literally grunts, and our grunts are not very strong. So we'll move orange past them and down into the southern area. We may need to reshuffle again. The fact that they're coming from this angle right now is, I think I need to have these guys bolster this line. Here we go, we're now seeing them. So what type of arachnid is this? This is just purely a normal arachnid. Now we get to see what they're like. So insectoid beasts with a very hard carapace and an extremely high level of aggression. So in this case, they've got a heap of hit points, so 266 hit points. This is against soft targets, and this is against hard targets, which is why we need the tanks. So the hard defense is against tanks is terrible. You can see down through there, when I hover over it, it actually shows you the different things. Now, technically, armoured cars are also tanks. So we could use armoured cars against these, which would actually allow us to manoeuvre. We may need a combination of armoured cars and tanks. I think that we start to now focus on getting some tanks into the army. So let's go and we can see they're all over the place, these things. Move that one back slightly. Would have liked to have maybe had some troops in those hills. Yeah, we're going to need tanks. So what have we got in here? Well, we're currently building that other bits and pieces. I think I'm going to have to wait until we actually can afford them. So let's just wait. We've got a lot of stuff we need to be doing. Now we've got org decisions back in through here. Economic Council task priorities. I'm not going to change them. No changes. And Carbon Lord wants total power over a state. Says Began, and yet again, we'll allow it because everyone's happy enough to do it. Autocracy goes up. Yeah, we'll allow it.
Aye, aye, sir.
There we are. And new advisor. Okay, so we're going to put Arda in as that's why I wanted to have Arda here, just so I can actually go and appoint her to as into the advisor role. So she goes in, and I'll get her to advise. Is she part of any political group? No. So she's got Grey behind her. What's Ronnie? Is that a new political party that we've got? No, it's unaligned. Okay, no, it's why is she? I don't know, just a neutral colour, I guess. Still only have two political parties, which is the colour behind them. In this case, Ada, the advisor. I'll call her and attach you to. Yeah, it shouldn't really be too much of a problem. I'll just attach her to maybe even the Supreme Command SHQ. So Altair, just to help out with his roles. All right, so she's going to be sort of like almost like an assistant to the Supreme Command, the SHQ, who is not that great. He's only Cap 2. That's all right. That's all right. So we'll just go back to the map. That's all the decisions made. That's all these things now happening as well. Bugs are moving up. Starship Troopers aspect's about to start. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know what's in there, what these things are. I need to find out. This is, in the game, if it's got the word territory, like this is Rothirus territory, and we don't know what Rothirus territory actually is. If I go and click on it, it's unknown culture. And depending on what it is, it can cause us a lot of troubles, but it hasn't actually done anything yet. It's certainly, there's a bit of, like just on the border, there's a little bit of an area there where there's been some fallout, so some nuclear fallout from the previous wars. What I might do is I'll keep that one where it is. It's hardly any recon extending into this. I can now get a recon into here, so I can now go back to the aircraft, press the Y key, which then puts me in the air recon mode. Hang on, why can't I do that? Air attack. Air recon, it's like can't move for some reason. Its fuel is low. Oh, okay, we don't have enough fuel. It hasn't been replenished. We've got enough in reserve. Yeah, it actually hasn't requested any fuel. I wonder why. That's strange. Yeah, I'm unsure as to what's going on there, actually, and they haven't got any ammo either. Let me have a look at the assets here. The airbase is fine. I mean, we've got less work. Okay, I'm going to have to get the workers happier. Okay, this is what's happening here. Is the workers are stopped working in Dasburg. So we'll go back to and call this guy, and we'll just go into zone orders, and we'll increase the worker salary up to 8. There we are. Give them a big pay rise. So that's all good. So we'll confirm those orders. Now we've got a lot of. I could have actually changed the amount, like just so we don't have too many of these. But it's not going to be bad to have big army groups coming in once we can get on top of this, all these other bits and pieces that we actually have. So we'll end our turn here and try to get those workers up even happier. Look at the bugs, look at the bugs. Okay, so we've got VidCom broadcasting. Don't need that one either at this stage. Level 6. Emergency tax. Actually, I forgot to play the taxation card before. So we'll do that one as soon as we have a look at this. Young Turks have a clever idea. We'll come back to that in that case. So let's just go back to the strat cards for nation. Increase income tax. So in this case here, it's a difficulty of 70, but we have a plus 40 plus a die 100. So yeah, we rolled 127 overall. So we rolled a What do we have? We had the it said we rolled a 93. Then we got the extras, so the extra 40. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a few little bonus things in through there as well. Anyway, that's good. So Ronnie has done that one. The Interior Council. He's available, by the way, if anyone does want him. So that's good. So that's actually now just going to get our taxation. We're going to end up that should round out our money fairly well. All right, that's good. Leave that one where that is. Go back to our decisions. So Young Turks have a clever idea. This is from the Director of the Interior Council. A group of young talented bureaucrats have proposed me to block the yearly bonus to all employees in Interior Council. They want to use these credits to fund an experimental project they'll work on in their own time after work hours. So agree to the reallocation of credits. So commerce goes up, heart goes down. Everyone's sort of behind it. Disagree with lowering salaries. Keep the salary the same. Offer Young Turks a small budget. So this one, we end up losing 250 credits there, which I don't have a lot of credits anyway, so I'm just going to go with the top option there. And so we'll just go that way. Meritocracy is pretty cool to play, actually, because you end up with, ultimately you end up with things that will help. This one looks better. This looks much better. Okay, so we've now got the workers seem to be working back again. If we have a look at the assets, yeah, everything's now just working properly with that pay rise, and these guys ended up getting refueled up. So if we have a look at the first recon, there they go. They've now completely full of fuel, completely full of ammo. They are ready to head over here to do a recon. So we are in air recon mode. Let's just go and do it. So it'll sort of look at the areas around it.
Birds are in the sky.
Not enough to see what that is. They're pushing back up here. This is another problem that we're then going to have. We are stretched very, very thin down this way. These bugs seem to have moved away. But see how, like we've got areas through here where we just don't have any sort of recon at all in the hills. We'll just go back to M with just move. You'll see air recon mode is the mode we're in. Move mode out of range, not enough. So I can just go into move mode into here. So I'm going to go and push this one into the central area somewhere here, like sort of around where this thing is. And then move that one up. I'll just keep everything else sort of where it is. Let's open up a gap here. Just close that gap for now. They've pushed back up in here, so whatever is moving down. We may have to just reserve a little bit for here for getting some other units just to plug gaps if we have to. I'm going to rely. Actually, we need to talk with this major again, so we'll just go back to the strat cards, go to majors, and we're going to start. Can we do this? Target will be Bulgaria. Now they're friendly. Oh, okay. Faction does not have a regime does not have a faction in power that supports such a pact. So we don't know much about them, but we know that they're not even interested in it, which is a problem. What about trade? This case here, yes. And again, we've got more than enough to hit the difficulty level here. So let's get the trade happening. Here we rolled heaps higher, so that's good. Well done, Boland. That's nice. So we'll start to sort of end up with a trade now going between the two countries. Bulgaria is actually really friendly now. So at the moment, we're going to have to foster this. Oh, here's their political group. They've got the Federalist Shield Command has got 100% because even though they've got other groups, it's not like like any other regime where like an authoritarian regime, there's only one that's got everything. So this is a faction composed of Federalists. Faction leader is Jurian Huber, the Lord of Bulgaria. Faction profile is heart and autocracy is really what they're going for. There's a couple of others that aren't in power. Mind and autocracy. Fist and autocracy. Okay. All right, that's fine. Let's move these guys down and across. Might even move them over to try to sort of hit over here if we have to. Okay, we don't know what we're dealing with over this side. Getting some armoured cars would actually help with that as well. All right, let's just see what we're building in Dasburg at this stage. So we're still building 1.1 turns left there for the big bureaucratic office. That's going to be very, very useful for us. I've only got one machine. We're probably going to have to buy some of them soon. Now, food is going down a bit too fast. I'll just go to 75% production with that. Water is getting close-ish to the limits. Water is there, so we'll just go and reduce this one to 75% as well. Just trying to manage it so we don't end up with too much sort of disappearing from there. Now there's the metal mine, which I would like to get. Ancient statue. Yeah, that's a political, that's that statue that we saw there before. All right, yeah, things are sort of actually these orange. I'll just keep on moving them down past this this area. So we'll start to sort of now take the western side to control this. If we have to put people up in the hills, this would be fine. So I want to find out what we're dealing with in here though first, if we can. That would be great. Actually, what have we got in here with this group? We do have some buggies, not a lot. That's sort of going to help us to use recon, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough. All right, that's all okay. Really nothing much else we can do this turn. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if the arachnids extend out this way and just keep on expanding. Actually, I see an orange back there as well, up in that top area. Here they come. Here. Oh, look at them swarming now, whatever the other group is. Okay, I've bought a crony CEO, social standing feat for 500 credits. This is sick. Okay. Dasburg is confronted with militia troops extorting people. That's not good. So your organisation factions generated 4 new stratagems, force their hand, unification, recruit junior, and open contact. Again, we don't need any of those. Okay, there's a build up here, guys. There's a bit of a build up. Let's just move in. We're still not seeing what's there. What sort of recon have we got in this one now? We've got 29. It's just not enough. Now, I do have another orange here, I think. Yeah, I do. Let's move them over. Oh, here we go. Different type of bug. These are Defendrix. These are the ones you get from the hives. So these are different again. So you can see there that they've got heaps more hit points. So this is Defendrix is a really heavily plated and super sturdy cast of arachnid that acts as a pillar of defense for the horde. They have some serious anti-tank capabilities as their strong pincers are able to remove armor plating from armored vehicles. So they do actually have better than what the other ones have, but not a hell of a lot more, to be honest. But they do defend well against armor. But armor is really what we're going to have to use against them, because infantry is just not going to be able to cut it against these guys. It's going to be hard, guys. It's going to be very, very difficult. We'll just stay where we are. Yeah, we'll just stay where we are, I think. I'm just going to move that one up a little bit. I want to protect. I want these hills for myself. So I can't move down. That creates a bit of a gap. Oh, not much of one. It's still okay. This is all out in the open. Move them into the hills there. That's okay. So we need to move these across. Okay, well, let's get them sort of shuffled. Minor worker strike in Dasburg. I think normally I prefer to be paying them off. I can make more money. Let's make the money first. And what else do we have? We had militia misbehaving. So some of the militia members have been taking protection money from a rich merchant in Dasburg, so we need to either turn a blind eye or force the militia to return the stolen items. We're going to have to make them give it back. Like, even though it's going to annoy certain people, I think we need to do that. Actually, if we turn a blind eye, morality goes down, which then it sort of weakens our resolve for the government. But I think we have to do that. Boland wants us to do that. Yeah, let's just go and do it. Everyone's happy for us just to ignore it, so we'll go and do exactly that, but our morality goes down. Minor worker strike. We'll come back for that. We'll just go back and check that we can do the trading first. And I'm just looking at all the stuff up through here. So we just go back into sell. Rare earths. We've got a fair few of those. And they'll pay a reasonable amount for that. They'll buy 172, so we'll just go and sell them all of that. That's another 1,000 credits. While we're here, I might buy some machines. There's only 3 machines available. I'll go and buy those. We can't build our own just yet. Actually, can we start to do that yet? Techs, heavy industry is what we need. So we need the Economic Council to find that. So all these yellow ones we haven't actually researched yet. But I want combat armor, I want heavy industry. And that's probably it. That's probably all I really need. And actually gas-powered small arms would be good as well. But combat armor, I definitely am waiting for that one to arrive. Yeah, we need that one. And then we can sort of start to do other things. All right, so we've been compressed here a little bit. So we will give in to their demands. And yeah, we'll leave it there. So, industry points are now coming back up again. Let's have a quick look at our at the construction again. So we should have now finished with the assets. Bureaucratic office number 2 has just been built. No, point 1 left. Bureaucratic office number 3. So we've just got ever so slight stuff just to sort of finish that one off next turn. Let's go and do that. That will then give us a big boost up into here. I think we better get some tanks. Just for defense at this stage. There they go. They're moving around. Here they come. So the other ones, whatever's at the top now, is becoming aggressive as well. They could very well be. Okay, Dasburg is confronted with vagrant but peaceful mutants. Posse is forming. We've got mutants on the rise. Field training, okay, that's okay. Unification, yeah, with miners, war games. Yep, that's scientific cooperation. Just with the other guys. Might see if we can do that one. Yeah, one or more of our units have supply problems. Okay, so we'll dismiss that. That will be the unit over here, I would have thought. No, yes, it is. So that unit there is outside of supply. You can see the little black area. Now they're moving in. That's where we needed to have these go back up. Move these across as well. So orange is going to be very, very spread out. I need to find out what these are. I need recon up there. Let's move that one back to there. Move those back up this way. Just try to, yeah, we're really spread out with these machine guns. Use the plane you got in the capital. I can't attack them without actually declaring war, and I haven't been able to see them. I don't have enough recon close to it. Like I've only got 8 recon in there, for example, 11 recon there, and when I go and put the plane next to it, the only thing we could do would be to luck out and accidentally hit one of their units, like back in here. I might try that. So let's just go and do an air recon. So I can only do air recons, and I can't attack this, but I can try this one here. They were shuffling around. So let's shuffle into there. Nah, nothing there. Yep, no, there's nothing out in that top area, but we still don't have enough recon. I only got 23 recon there. So it's a problem. Now that one there, what's it on? This one's on hills. There's only hills there as well. I'm not sure if there's anything there. I'll just keep it where it is. Got any spy cards? Yeah, we do actually. Actually, that's a point. Yeah, we could try that. Let's go and see what we're dealing with out through here. In fact, spy cards on these miners is actually not a bad thing at all. So we'll go to the cards, go to covert ops, even though we don't have a covert ops person. So we'll target that area because we need to know what it is. And so we'll execute the roll. Unfortunately, Mindy is the one doing this one. Yep, she rolled a good one there. That's good. Now that was a success. That doubled number of spies. We need to get at least 3 in there though, so I need to do another one. So do it again. And we missed. We need to go one more. Yes, we got one more. So that's the 3. So we've got 3 in that location. So we'll find out a little bit of information next turn. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, if we get a spy council, we'll be able to then sort of start to do some other things as well. Everything else is sort of moving around okay, which is fine. These are moving in closer to our forces. Okay, we're going to be stretched here a little bit. All right, so Dasberg has now finished the construction. Now finished on the bureaucratic office, which will be helpful. In that case, what should we build? I can either start to now build the tanks. If we go back to industry, the ammunition factory is going to be very important soon, but it's not urgent. Industry 2 is also very important. It's 4 rounds for that, and I've got enough. I've got enough to build that now, or we build a tank now. I think I build this now.
Aye, aye, sir.
And our energy is maxed out. This will then start to drop after we build this one. All right, so that's going to soak up. It'll probably take 5 turns, I guess, to build that one. Everything else is going well. Just leave them all where they are. Now we've got national decisions, new demand. So in motion that the meritocracy profile reach at least 61 points. Now if we refuse it, I forget what happens here. Refuses demand and take an immediate word profile and faction. I'll accept it, but then I hate these. I wish that these weren't in the game. I really dislike these. We've got a fair bit of time, but we're going to have to really focus on it. And the reason I really don't like these is because I always forget that they're there, and yet we've got to now target 61. I will go okay. It's sort of, but I just don't like them. I really don't like them. Okay, enact workhouse law. So on the initiative of the Democratic Superior Party, the Senate is holding a vote whether to enact the workhouse law by promoting and setting up the workhouses for the poor and sick will clean up the streets and increase social cohesion. So I'm in favour of it. In fact, everyone's in favour. There's only 8 against out of the whole lot. Actually, there's a third group now that's just been set up. So in reality, this is going to go through. So I'll just lean back. We won't have to do anything here. So we can try to influence it, but there's no need to.
Yes, sir.
Students lean back. So enacted with 91 votes in favour and 8 against. That's fine. Done. So we do have a new political party now. Where are they? No, I'm not seeing them there. Just only seeing those two. Vagrants threatened by posse. So some small group of weak barbaric vagrants are camping and scavenging around the outskirts of Dasburg. Civilians claim they threaten security. They're organising a posse and are eager to hunt them down. Bloodlust is in their eyes. So in this case, we'll just chase them away because, it doesn't matter what we do here, really. It's only Boland that's actually... He's pro of do we allow it? Yes. Boland's a bit of a psycho, isn't he, in this game? So Boland's saying tanks, then electricity. Then we've got electricity, but I want to get that industry up. Once we get industry, we can start to really thump through things. Let's just chase them away. We'll just chase them away. So that'll do. That'll do. Get rid of the mutants. Okay, so what on earth are we dealing with up in here? We're just going to be able to plug that gap just in time. They're moving around on the border, which doesn't worry me. They're friendly. Actually, I should try to do that scientific research with them. They're behaving like arachnids. Side skirts, very, very useful. But not what we need yet. We need combat armour. Gosh, we're just sort of doing everything we can. So this is now 4 new political stratagems. They all come from meritocracy. 1, 2, looks like they're just basic stuff. We won't worry about any of those. Increase rank. Export tariff and send spies. Yep, okay, we'll get more spies because we're now got less of them. Open contacts, overture. All right. Now the spies are in here. We can see what's on the ground here a little bit. So we do actually have a large library there. They'll be centered around one of these things, but we just don't have enough recon yet in here. So if we have a look at the actual territory, if we go to the strategic map and have a look at it, is it going to tell us there? No, if we do it here, Retherius, spies, zone recon is only 8. We might need more. I might just let it go for a couple of rounds and just to see what we end up getting. Actually, we don't need to have that little map open to see that. We'll push them back again from this border. Oh, okay. Well, we know what they are now. So we've been ambushed. We only lost 1 unit, which is actually not too bad. So ferals is what we actually have through here. These are different again. So these are a different type of force that we sort of see. So they happen to be in that hill. We didn't declare war by doing that. We just happened to trigger them. But we can now see exactly what they're dealing with. These are mutants. So the mutants we sort of ran away from here. These are probably coming from this territory. So, and you can see them down through here. This is the portrait of the leader. They don't like us. It's just a minor regime of ferals. There's no value other than killing them off, really. If we're going to kill them off, I think we have to bring our road down through the south because that's going to be where it's going to be valuable. So we might go up to there, then sort of bring the road down through here somewhere. That way we'll end up getting more supply back up this other side. Ferals are not going to be all that strong. They're stronger than normal mutants, but if we go into the actual ferals themselves and have a look to see what they're actually like, you can see again they're about the same as what we have. So ferals are the essentially viable. These are an especially viable strain of mutants that are fast and furious. They seem to be able to live on the land without any problems. And so they live in this wasteland. I didn't think there'd be enough fallout for that to really be affecting them. Actually, the fallout does go a long way across. We didn't see that before. So they've got 70 hit points, so they're more than what we have. But they, again, don't perform well against armoured cars or tanks. So if we divert up, we can sort of get rid of these pretty quickly. And this wouldn't be bad for us because we then sort of see that we've got the borders in through here. We can see where their borders are because of our spies. So this is non-aligned forces down that way. Where's that border finish? This is Xeno territory there, but then it's non-aligned. So there's a border change right there. So this is all nothingness down this other side. We're seeing little towns as well around the place. What have we got over this way? Again, non-aligned forces. There's just nothing out this way. So this is good for us to expand into. Exchange high, what's that? Trade point. So this one here, a hex perk that's completely independent from your public and private economy and delivers as long as it's connected to a zone city. It gives me private credits of 25. And a large library here is like a monastery. Is going to give me bureaucratic points of plus 25 as well. So nothing special, but it's still useful. It gives me a little bit of information of what's going on. Is it all non-aligned forces all the way around it? It sort of means that this is just a pocket of nothingness back up in here. And then the non-aligned forces is where the actual aliens will live. So all of this territory down through here. Interesting. That's really interesting. So there's nothing on the other side. Which means that if we go after them, we're going to have to get like an army group to go after them. So, again, I'm not unhappy with where we are with things. It's really only the arachnids now cause the bigger threat. Supreme Command Council task priorities, no changes there. All right, we need to get rid of her. We need to shuffle her somewhere. An army group sounds perfect for her, I think. And we'll put someone a bit more capable in that role. It's a very important role. And she's only a cap 1, so she's been sort of like the worst of the worst. But she's got a very high natural relation point, so she's going to sort of take whatever we do, she's going to accept it. So Le Pedro Bear is saying, do you get a penalty from being in the radioactive tiles? Not really. These are sort of like low radiation. What we'll see is, in fact, you can see now there's radiation all the way through this zone. And the way it works is that you'll notice that they go from tiny to bigger. Like if you compare the size of these to the size of these, this is very, very low radiation. If I go and click on that one through there, it tells me that it's got 63 rad, so radiation points on the hex. This is equal to a radiation hazard level 1. If I go and click over here, I don't know if it'll be able to tell me. Oh yeah, there's 266. So radiation points, this is equal to a radiation hazard level 3. Now what I did before I started actually playing was that I opened up the manual, because the manual is awesome. And if we look at, if I just type in radiation, I'm going to then get rad is short for radiation points. So if we can just quickly sort of get information, this is the best way to do this, by the way, as well. Exposure might be hostile factors to the planet, so cold temperatures, radiation, toxic atmosphere, etc., etc. So a number of options available to equip your troops with either bare minimums or less, but in our case we do actually have protection suits which protect us from the radiation, because we have to protect ourselves from the exposure to the environments anyway, so our suits look after us. If we were on a, just going back there, if we were on a, like an Earth class world where we don't have to wear protection suits, then that would be, it would be more prevalent that we'd have to sort of do something about that. Now, if we go in a bit deeper, so we've got this one here is radiation. We can get radiation techs as well. This one is, I think we may even have that. I've got a feeling we've got that, but I'm not 100%. Anyway, that's radiation techs, radiation treatment centres. You can build them if you're in like a high radiation zone. I'll just find where it goes through what the actual points mean. Exposure calculation for populace. So they actually have their own exposure. Like if they're in a radiation, if we built a city in that radiation area, we may need to protect them from the hazards, which is sort of, I'm thinking of doing that, to be honest. So we'll come back to that one. That's not really important for us. For each population, for each radiation level, they'll suffer happiness point loss, and above level 3, a populace will suffer casualties due to radiation sickness. So back in the middle of where those ferals live is where we would get radiation sickness, but level 1 and level 2 we don't. But it does make the happiness go down. So populace will suffer 2 happiness points per radiation. I'm not sure what BHL is, and each 10 degrees below 0. Okay, so if it's super cold as well. All right, so that's okay. We'll just keep that one going. Okay, exposure rules and free folk. Free folk are never impacted by them. That's okay. Bunker points, not really needed. There we go. So this is environmental. This is for farming. Again, you can see the radiation level 1 doesn't really matter, but 2 does. You get a 50% decrease on your farming if you're farming out in the open. So again, there's so much detail in this. Now that's xeno farming as well. Doesn't like the radiation. Dome farming rules. Farming in domes is not impacted, for example, outside radiation, so it's protected. Water extraction, so so radiation. The following table shows what the percentage difference water collection methods are. Again, not really. There's different ways of getting it. This is going to be important for us later on. At the moment, we're just doing the underground water mining, and so the water mining isn't affected by radiation. But if we were getting it from rain, it would be. Other combat rules: depleting hit points, radiation, use of nuclear weapons. Yeah, that's actually different again. Effects of radiation applied at the start of each turn. The initial blast, again, that's radiation blasts. So we've got radiation filters, cleaning. It will affect the combat a little bit, but not a hell of a lot. Radius short, we're back up the top there again. It does affect it a little bit, but not a hell of a lot. Where are we up to? So we just go back in. Raki is then sort of saying they're wearing enviro suits, which gives them protection up to 400 rad. Okay, yeah, so that's a bit more. Actually, I should have come up in that list there. Actually, maybe just if I did rad, it might get more. Yeah, there's 77 text for just rad. It's going to get trade degrading. No, worry about that one. Okay, so we'll ignore that bit, but we'll just. So anyway, yes, it does impact it, but it's got to be high levels for it to actually impact it. And so, with where we are, by the time it comes out to here, yes, this is going to start to impact them. It's rad level 3, so we're okay there. And it does. You don't say the environment suits give protection of 400 rad. If I can see this as well. Like if I just go into my forces in through here. So for example, these infantry guys are all wearing. They're wearing environmental suits. Back in through this other side. If I go and have a look at them in more detail, open the design log, we can then sort of see what they've actually got. So this goes on for 2 pages, and some of them should be the what they're wearing. Armor strength for enviro suit. So they get a little bit of extra protection from the enviro suit. Where else is there? Just looking for anything that says enviro suit. I'm not seeing the radiation. Let's go to the next page. Not seeing it there. These are all the different stats that get applied to the different units. Again, there's a lot that goes on in this game. Yeah, recon, firepower, armor strength. It's a cost, metal cost, because they're wearing enviro suits. It's not giving me the protection though. Let's close that. See, we don't see radiation protection in here. If I just exit that, if I go back out to the, she probably won't show me here. If I go to combat, and even combat armor won't tell me. Yeah, combat armor is what I'm looking for. That's, oh, hang on, padded enviro suit. Yeah, it's not telling me what they actually do. Where else would it be? Where else could I see that? I can't remember where else. I'll look up EnviroSuit in the manual, just see if that's got it. It's a good question. I never worry too much about it because was it EnviroSuit? Yeah, there we go. So I've just got planetary stats, respiratory hazard. Yep, so EnviroSuit for that. Toxic, necessary. Yep, so that's what we're on. We've got a we need the EnviroSuits. That's a biological hazard. Now that's exposure again, which is talking about vehicle EnviroSuit is punctured in battle. So that's okay. Don't need to worry about that one so much. There we go. So a padded EnviroSuit gives you minus 100 rad points. So exposure calculation for your units. So first of all, there is a temperature that is exposure danger. There are two other exposure dangers of interest, respiratory hazard and biohazard. These base levels correspond to, okay, that's respiratory and bio. That's what, so I was reading them as rad. It wasn't. It was respiratory hazard and biohazard. The threat these exposure types pose for our troops can be reduced based on your troops' equipment and any possible buildings in the hex. The two tables are cumulative. So troop equipment, padded EnviroSuit, back and through here. The RHL modification, this is like a number, so -4, which is basically means that it protects them completely, I think. The temperature adjustment is going to be plus 100 degrees Celsius for those in through that other side. And then minus 100 rad. If we can get our combat armor, which is what we're aiming for, we'll end up with minus 300 rad. So we'll be able to go into that radiation hazard without any real problems, because we saw it was 266 rads in that area. So it's only 100. So 300 for the suit, and the combat armor is also going to give us more temperature adjustment, which we don't need. We're okay with temperature. And it's the same for but so it will help with the rads, but it will also then help with the protection as well. We get a lot more protection just in terms of combat with those combat suits. So that's what we're sort of aiming for. We've been trying to get them ever since we started the game, to be honest. So that's them right there. We just need to discover them first, and that is very, very important to us. All right, hope that sort of answers all that stuff. What are we in there? We've got 165. So these ones here, we actually are over the 100 rad. If we have a look at them, we can then sort of see things like, for example, what do they have? They've just got environmental suits as well, improvised environmental suits. I don't even know what they're like. Are they back in the stats? Filters, padded. It's not really showing us the improvised. I think they'll still just come down through as EnviroSuits. I think that's what that would actually end up being for these. These are militia. These are different again. If there's a problem, it'll show up in here. So they're well fed. Start of the turn. This is their readiness. So this is the readiness calculation. Upkeep 100%, atmosphere is 0, bio 0, rad 0, temp. Now, did we move forward? I don't think we did. What's the rad there? 101. So not really impacting it through there. And they've just moved in as well. 126 there, but still no radiation problems. Yeah, there's no issues there with what we can sort of see through there. There's no like the temperature is not sort of causing any problems. Atmosphere, bio, radiation, temperature, they're the different things that can actually sort of, although this one now is with its loss has really sort of been hit pretty hard. So as we move into it, I think we'll actually end up getting more and more problems, but that's at the moment we can contend with this radiation. It is not an issue. All right, so I've got all that. Move these across as well. If they're just ferals, I'm actually not uncomfortable with having ferals there. I can ultimately just ship all my militia forces up that way, and they can protect the border if we need that to happen. All right, let's. We're going to build, are we? Have we already started building? 3 turns left on industry. Yep, that's okay. All right. Now we're going to run out of industry points before we get them finished, I think. Let's just end our turn here. And we may need to get even more, more sort of solar panels as well. I forgot to. That's what I forgot to do, was to do the diplomacy. We wanted to do the. Oh, here they go. So they're trying to now break around this side. And here comes these bugs too. Okay, just go into water soil recomposition. All right, organisation, 4 new stratagems. Yep, that's okay. I'll try to get the science cooperation with the other guys though. Low treasury, we're down to 220, so we do need to fix that up. Let's just go across to actually just, what have we got in through here? National decisions, this is the budget. Zone decisions, retired military general in Dasburg. Oh gosh. Get this middling old general removed. I can't do that. That makes everyone too. This is, I can't afford this. Recruit some extra mercenary forces into it. So he wants 760 for a recruitment, and I just can't do it. Militia will go down. I'm going to have to do that one. It's just what's going to have to happen. Now we can actually get ourselves, because we're getting more bureaucratic points, it's now saying we can get a new one coming in. Secret Service would be good, just to be able to sort of see what's going on around these different other locations. But in reality, I want a tank group. The Staff Council would be good. The Model Design Council I'm going to need as well. Military research, no changes with what's happening there. He just has to get these bloody combat armor. He's got everything except the combat armor. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Gosh, I'm in a bit of a quandary with this. I think I'll wait till I've got, until we're a little bit further down, just because we've, so I'm going to just go none here. Because I can always just call him anyway and say, because we went ahead of what we're doing anyway, just to bring in the Interior Council. So we'll do no changes with this.
Yes, sir.
And just going to click on OK, but we do need to get money, so we go back into trade. We go to sell. They'll buy, they're hardly paying anything for this now. I'll just get a little bit. So we'll sell them off. Now food is, it's not much. Water's reasonable actually. There's a big demand for water on this world. Go and sell that off. Even metal is actually pretty good. We've got a lot of metal. Yeah, we can get like 1,000 there for just getting 300 metal out. Let's go and sell that off as well. That just gives us a bit of a boost. It's interesting how things work with this, but that's that's the trading now is sort of that will then be sold all around the place. But it gives me a bit of a, like, just so we don't run out. It's very important we don't run out of money. BPs. Credits are going down a lot per turn. All right, that's okay. So we're losing, those laws are causing us to also lose a little bit as well. That's okay. I'll keep them up in the hills. Actually, this one's now out of supply, is it? Yeah, this one's out of supply. I'll need to move it off the hill. Actually, no, I can't move this turn. All right, we'll have to just leave it there. It looks like there is still supply that can get to it, but just minimal. All right, how are we going with this building as well? 2 turns left. We're possibly going to run out here. That's going to be very, very useful though once we get it. So let's end our turn here. These bugs are now right on the border. They've pushed up and taken all of this territory. So I'm missing a lot of the comments here. Oh, Dasberg's self at a work crew exit. This isn't good. All right, so we're still ramping things up. Recruit military, that's okay. All right, so we have a problem here. This will be the zone decision. Zone decisions are usually the worst ones, so we'd like to look at them first. So we can blame the workers, admit it was our fault, admit it was my fault. Morality goes up. This is Thorn White Day. What is it? So a work crew got killed in an unstable canyon due to faulty computer software in Dasberg. The crew is not to blame, sir. It is because of the suboptimal supervision this happened. We could blame it on them. No, we won't. We will take the Boland won't like it, but we will admit that it was his fault. It's good for morality, so there we go. And policy speech. So we now need to figure out what we're going to be doing. Now, it says that our goal is to have mining assets reach at least 6 levels. And at the moment we've got 4, I think. Water, oil, metal, and rare metal. So I need to get another 2, which I don't really want to be doing. Victory points isn't going to happen. Private assets reach at least 10 levels. But we have to try to get, none of these actually promote meritocracy, which we have to then sort of try to aim for anyway. But so none of those do that one. I think I'm going to go private assets because they are sort of thumping along building stuff. Actually, I could maybe could do that one. I just don't need it. I'll go private assets.
Yes, sir.
This is the private sector building things. And they've already got a fair few. They still haven't built the other mines yet, which I thought they would be trying to build. If we just go back to Dasberg again. Metal, I don't want them getting that. So they've now switched to this is what they're aiming for. Do they build anything else in here in the meantime? No, it's been good though. They've been building all sorts of little extra bits and pieces, which is nice actually. So it's good for the city. The city is actually fairly strong, which is good. Can't really move that one off. Let's bring that one in to support. The build up here of the arachnids. Yeah, we've got one more turn. I think we're going to miss it. Yeah, 1 turn left to build this thing, but I don't think we're going to make it. So I think we're going to run out of industrial points before we actually get it finished. So it'll probably be 2 turns. I thought it would take 1 extra. Oh, those arachnids. It's a problem. It's a problem. Here we go, guys. We've got it. Okay, we've been looking for this the whole time. Just before we go move on, I will read some of the more of the comments. Where do we get up to? Yeah, so Leo Pedro Bear is saying, I'm trying to get into this game. I started watching your video on YouTube, but I'm still on the first one. Yeah, feel free to skip forward to different things. Seb was saying to Le Pedro that it's a wonderful game, and when you figure out the stuff, it'll be daunting looking at first. Yeah, it's sort of one of those things. Boland's saying the -100 rad modifier. Seb was saying football siren beckons, so it's France and it's France playing. I forget who they're playing. Anyway, I think France is going to win the whole thing. It's just too strong. -10 readiness and morale per exposure level, suit adjusted. There we go, says Boland. Okay, so that actually does affect the readiness. Le Pedro's then saying, so if it's 126 and you get -100, you have exposure level of 1. Yeah, so it should actually come up in that, when you click on the unit and then have a look at the at its readiness area, that will actually then show you the impact of the radiation, because that's where it'll be impacting them. So everything is exposed in the game. It's all there if you just know where to look. And so Boland's saying greater than 50 radiation is level 1. There we are. So that's good. So is it 50 or is it or 1 is from 50 to 150? So if you've got 100 radiation points, it would need to get to 150. So over 150, it should then start to impact your readiness, is I think what's being said there. Boland's in saying you can read that in the manual. The levels are geometric doubling, so 50, 100, 200, okay, that's all good. Hi Star Dagger, how you going? The Galactic credit stops here. And Jonathan saying power, there we are. So we're getting up there. Having a quick look across, see if there's any questions on else there is. Yep, so Star Dagger's in saying Shadow Empire is a glorious sim. The reason I'm a PC gamer, yes, I agree. Every once in a while, a jewel like this one comes along, and here we are. Yes, indeed. And so, but he did properly document it. The reason it's so well documented is that's his actual, that's what he uses as his note-taking. The manual is actually, for every little change he makes, is documented in the manual rather than just being put in elsewhere. So it's actually not. It's the byproduct is we end up with a great manual, but it's actually his way of working, which is just brilliant. Okay, we're going to do a bit of a deep dive into research now, because this is what we've been aiming for, combat armor. So we've discovered a new tech, combat armor. It occurred to us that it might be a good idea to start designing a suit that acts as real armor. If we research this, we'd be able to field some very hard to kill infantry models. That's exactly what we need to be doing. We've needed this since the start of the game, to be honest. So we are going to click on that one and just go through. We've got increase income tax again. I've already at 30%, which with the current difficulty level, I don't think I can go any higher than where I am without affecting everything. So I've got no more machines. So we've now run out of machines. So if we build anything that requires machines, we're going to struggle. So and we need to have more private assets. Yep, that's okay. We can give them a budget if we wanted to. I also have a card that I can play. Oh, there they go. Look at them. Look at them go. They're just building this bloody mine. Now, we're going to take this over. I don't want them having a metal mine. I need me having the metal mines. So not the private sector. So unfortunately, they're building that one right now. I can't do anything. I can nationalise it eventually. I won't rush to nationalise it, but I will definitely nationalise it when I can. At the moment, we're getting good metal coming in, but we're going to need a lot of that once we start to build tank forces. Right, we were just going to talk a little bit about the issue decisions, Interior Council task priorities. No change there, I don't think. Actually, taxation can now go back down a little bit. I'll change that to say 10. Tariffs as well, down to say 5. Human resources and interior policies, I'll just keep them where they are. Confirm that. So that's the cards that he's going to be generating. Okay, that's the decisions out of the way. So, just to do a bit of a deep dive into here, we have different organisations. So the organisation's Military Research Council is at the moment the way that SIC has been sort of set up to do his research is that what should be happening is as he receives his bureaucratic points, 5% should be going into discovering the points, discovering the research, and 95 should be going into doing the actual research. But when we look at the amount of BPs that have been put in there, it's actually 0 in terms of actual research, and it's all sitting here in the actual bureaucratic points assigned at the start of the turn. So everything is going into discovery. So why is that? I'll just quickly explain what's going on with him. If we, at the moment, he's not researching anything. So if we have a look at, which one is it? If we go to overviews maybe, and Empire budgets, I don't know if it'll show us there. Yeah, no research target yet. Actually, I've purposely told him not to research anything, which means that even though all the percentage points are going into like they've all been allocated to research, because he's not researching anything, so there we go. Since we have no research target set in this organisation, we've transferred our 108 research bureaucratic points back to discovery. So if you have nothing that you are researching, it all goes into discovery. This is really important. I've got both the tech councils, the economic council as well, has got, this is the research. Since we have no research target, 77 of their bureaucratic points are going straight back into discovery. So they're discovering, they're trying to find new discoveries. So when we go back into the management screen, everything that's yellow means that it's been discovered, and so we've actually discovered these, but we haven't researched them yet. And so I'm now going to be researching a lot of things. And because we've got it set up so it's 95% for research, as soon as I click one on and say start to research that, it will happen very, very quickly. So combat armor we want to get very quickly. Side skirts we want to get very quickly for the tanks, particularly if going up against these arachnids. There's the radiation filters we didn't actually sort of do anything with, so we could actually we might as well go and grab them now as well. So you can see their discovery cost is 300, research costs 800. These will all be 800. Up through here, this is basic tech. This should be a little bit cheaper, I think. Yeah, 160 to research the high-speed machine guns. That would be worth getting out of the way fairly quickly as well. The gas-powered small arms, I would have liked to have gotten that one, but we just haven't found it yet. So that's something that he can still research. This is from the military council. Even the economic council, I'm waiting for housing and also heavy industry, either one of those two, to start. So we've discovered everything other than the stuff that we actually need, which is just the way it goes, unfortunately. But anyway, we'll get there. Now we start with our military. So economic council, I still want them to find one of these, which is really all they can now research. As soon as we get either one of those, I'll start to actually then go and get that one established as well. So that's the overall strategy for this, is to get what you need. Combat armor is what we needed, so we now actually we have a lot that we can now go and do straight in there. So if we just go back to the map and go back to the Military Research Council and call him in. So say, yes, we want you to change your research priorities. So discuss research target. So that's going to be coming through. So now on our desk, that's just good. So we now have all of those ones we discovered are now showing up in here. So the research field we want is combat armor. And so now all of the points, all those research points will now be put into combat armor. So we'll go and grab that. And as soon as we get that, I'm going to then bring in a model design council, and we'll start to then get things sorted in terms of redesigning what we actually have. So Boland's saying, so combat and gauze guns on new infantry model? Absolutely, yeah. So the next thing after this is to get the model design council, design the new infantry that we have. I'll get the high-speed machine gun as well. So I'll get all of those things ready for the model design council to fix everything up. Machine gun in our vehicles, yes, all of those things will be sort of sorted with the model design council. So, but we don't have anything new yet to sort of really go and do that. So this is a very, very important. We've been looking for this since we started playing the game. We've needed this, and it just happened to be the very, very last thing almost that he could have researched. So it's just bad luck, but we've got it now. So anyway, that's what we need to do this turn. Everything is in position. These could shuffle sideways, which we have to be a bit careful of. Just go and keep them there. See, they're honouring the borders of for the major there. I think if they go up into swarm level, then we're going to sort of start to struggle. Here they come. Look at them. Look at them come. Okay. Okay, there we go. 10 levels. So we did get that one. So we promised that one. Here we go. We've discovered heavy industry as well. So we could use a potential energy source. This is what we want. So I'm going to now go and nothing else there that we need. That's all good. Actually, I keep on forgetting to, before I do anything, I'm just going to go to the strat cards and going to go to the majors. I'm going to look at the scientific cooperation. And we're going to target Begovia. God, look how big they are. We're starting to now see how big they are because we're actually now friendly with them. So we can see more of them. Relation has dropped a little bit, but we can execute this stratagem. Difficult is 130, but we've got a reasonable chance of getting this. Yeah, we got it. So we're going to start to sort of like be helping each other with tech now as well. So that's all good. Okay, that's fine. So we got that one out of the way, and we get a bit of a feel for there's Sax. That's their Saxon is their actual that'd be their capital back in that location. We're seeing borders since we're here. It's Begavia. It's different again. Not sure why it's got a different symbol there. I don't think they would have fragmented. That's another one of their towns. So you can see how much they've expanded. This is unknown regimes back out this way. Begavia down this way. Might be just different borders. All right. Well, see, this is why we needed to be friendly with them because we just are we're nowhere near that size. If we go to this small map, yeah, they've got two big towns plus a like an outpost back over here. It's non-aligned forces back out this way. Then we've just got our arachnid problem. I think we're the ones that are going to have to deal with that. All right. That's all good. Just go back into here. So we're now starting to get our industrial points back up. If we have a look at Dasburg again, we look at the assets. So things are working well here. We've got the bureaucratic office is set up. The construction just finished on the industry too. So we're going to see a big boost to industry, which is going to be super useful. Still getting more bugs sort of coming in close. And I'm now thinking I'm going to wait. I'm just going to start to save up the industrial points, etc., for when we just need to suddenly explode militarily, and that way we can get our model design council. So let's just stay where we are. These guys here are really struggling. Actually, I can't move them off. Just move that one down. Let's leave it there. Try to get some support in for this. These guys are in high mountains, which it still says that we do have some supply that are going in there, but not a hell of a lot. So that was not a good position to be in, but I can't move him off. There's just nothing happening. Yeah, he's struggling. Got this militia as well. I'll just move this one back up to relieve some of these. And that's all good. So we'll end our turn here. And we might get the Model Design Council in pretty quickly because we should have these combat suits fairly fast. In fact, I'll wait until I've got I've got the Gauze guns as well. I think I might throw them into the mix before we start to use the Model Design Council. Like nothing's attacking us, so we're just holding on here. Okay, we've got exemplary CEO and command of the first SHQ. There we go. So we've got I, Altair, am actively pushing my faction to be less populist. Our great nation doesn't need to play the masses. The masses are wise. They need truth, not propaganda or short-term solutions. There we are. That's a change in direction, I guess, for his group. So that's I love this. I mean, like I know people don't like the AI stuff in it, but it's just cool what they do with it. It's certainly sort of good with what they've done with the game. Like just these sorts of graphics are great. Gives you a good feel. Good. You're quite immersive actually. So you receive 4 new political stratagems back in through there. We should get fairly soon the that combat armor, passionate speech, offer client. Recruit military, okay. Cancel pact clause, that's okay. We've got a fair few cards that turn. All right. Now they've built this one. What's it going to cost to get rid of that, to take control of this asset? 2,000. What I can do is disband the level. Disband a single level. This is only level 1 anyway. It will lose population happiness to do that, so I can actually just use political points to disband it, like to get rid of it. Let's leave it where it is for now. They do actually have like a limited, like there's 4,200 reserves of metal there. What about in our metal mine? We've got 16,000 there. It's just the rate that they could mine. It's only a smallish mine there anyway. Okay, we'll just leave them where they all where they are. I'll bring this one south. Here we go. We can move that one off the hills. So we'll just go and do that. These guys are certainly making a bit of a push. Just leave everything where it is for now. One decision. Reducing populism. So there we go through there. So applaud it. Again, Poland doesn't like this idea. But yes, we're going to go with pro-mind.
Yes, sir.
That'll do. All right, that's good. So we'll leave them again for this turn. This is good. We're picking up good industrial points now. So when we do need to start to push things, we can certainly go and do that. Let's end our turn. So I'm not building anything just yet. Oh, you know what I forgot to do was to set up my the research for the big factories. I need to go and do that. There's always things you forget. Here they come. Okay, so according to some returning wasteland explorers, the arachnids in Personian territory have leveled up to swarm level. Damn it. All right, so the Personian territory is now going to become even more of a threat. So, and we discovered housing. We got everything we need. Okay, so now there's nothing much more for us to discover, to be honest. So unfortunately, everything we have in discovery, which is only like a small percentage anyway for this one, but this one we now need to go back across and start to pick up those other ones that we wanted. So it's now wasted if we don't do it. So before we do anything, we will go back to the reports, organisation, Economic Research Council. We'll call Rainbow Crater Rock in. So they've got 5% discovery. I'll call them, and we need to do actual research now. And I should have done this a few turns ago. So heavy industry, we'll start there, and we'll just have to now start to sort of keep things going. Hopefully, actually, if we look back at the reports again and look at the Military Research Council, we know how far along we are now with the research. So we're at 50%. 2 more turns, and then we'll get combat armor, and then we'll just try to get a few of the other little bits and pieces as well to sort of round that out quite nicely. So if that's all good, leave that one where that is. Now, Pesonian territory, yeah, this one here. Now, that means that this one has to also contend with it. So we've got, which is non-aligned forces, there's Pesonian territory finishes there. So they've got a little bit to contend with, but we've got a lot. We've got a whole big long border with them that we need to protect. But we'll probably be just in time, I think, with everything that we're doing. I'll leave that one where that is. Again, I can't move out from here. I'm just going to push these back. It just puts pressure on them to get away from us. But I need these territories to ultimately save this group. They can't get through the mountains. The supply through the mountains is just too much. I'll keep that one back in reserve. All right, we'll end our turn here. Again, we don't need to be building anything just yet. Although, do we? Actually, we do. We do. What we do need to be building is, and our money is now dwindling right away again, is we need to go back into Dasburg and construct for industry the ammunitions factory. Now this is going to take 2 turns. I need to get 2 machines, which is going to cost me. I'll just exit that. We can actually go to the workshop to create machines. In fact, that's going to be the best way for us to do this. I can get 10 machines this way. Let's produce those. And that way we've got 10 just sort of as a bit of a reserve, rather than buying them, because buying them is going to be too expensive for us now. And we do actually have, we've got all the bits that we need to be able to, like the rare metals, the metals, and the industrial points to be able to now cope with that, which is good. So if we go back to construct, go back to industry, I can now go and get the, well, I can even go for this one here if I really wanted to. We still haven't gone beyond where we need to be here, but let's just go and start construction on the ammunition factory. That will then round out the ammunition. Now the ammunition is we have a lot more ammunition coming in. We're just not firing any bullets yet. So that's all good. That's all fine. So the swarm will eventually come through this way. So we will need to just have enough in reserve to be able to quickly plug the gaps in around Dasburg if the swarm does attack. We haven't really pushed forward here at all either. So we're on our last line of defence before we even get started. They've taken back all of this territory which we did own at one stage. So we'll just keep it where that is. Nothing else we need to do, I don't think. There go the bugs. There we go. We've now got combat armor, which is great. So we'll now have you'll say, what do you want me to research next? National budget I won't change, so I'm just going to go and say that's all fine. Actually, org decisions, yeah, will be Foreign Affairs Council task priorities. Yep, no change there. So you stay there. Now, what we have through here is that we actually now have the radiation filters we could sort of rattle out fairly fast, I think. Well, actually, maybe not. Side skirts I'd want to get for, that's all I need for tanks. So if I get that one, if I get the high-speed machine guns, where's my Gauss small arms? Equip your, yeah, this rifle's user, yeah, this allows them to much higher projectile speeds and more lethal rifle. Let's go that way before we start to bring in the Research Council. So we'll do that one first. Once we get that one in, we can then sort of go off and have a bit of a look. If we go back to reports again and have a look at the organisations. So military research. So combat armour was now done, and so I think we'll have I think we'll have a little bit left over, and so we'll end up sort of now thumping back through to try to get the next level. But we want to get as much of this before we sort of start to bring in more councils, because that means we have to split the bureaucratic points up even more. Decisions, national budget, yep, not a problem. Just go no changes there. That's good. So combat armour we now have researched, but we're not using it yet. And so just a couple of more turns and then we can bring in the Model Design Council and start to change those models around. So the Ferals we're not at war with, so we're just holding the border, but they'll encroach into our territory if they can. Okay, so that's okay. All right, so this is a journalist that managed to infiltrate the local administration's office. Organisation factions generated 4 new stratagems. Nothing much there. That's okay. I'm pressing WASD. Let's keep on going back this way. These guys here are struggling. I'm just going to move them back out of the way. They can go around the top, but I'll now bring this one back down to sort of help out with the bugs. The bugs are really where the big threat is. All right, so I've still got all that stuff done. 3 decisions. Got a zone decision. So popular journalist. Caught a journalist and a woman in Dasburg. She secretly infiltrated the governor's offices and been sharing sensitive information with her audience. So we can imprison or we can execute. Yeah, this one's the morality goes down again. Boland's pro that. Yeah, happiness decreases. None of these are pro meritocracy, unfortunately. I think we'll just imprison her. There we go. Happiness would have gone down a little bit with the population. Here we go. Look, I might as well bite the bullet now and get myself the Model Design Council. It's that time. Let's just go and do it. Economic Council task priorities. Again, no real priority there. Yeah, no, I'm sort of happy enough with what we have there. So it's mainly all going into research. No changes. And that's that. Now we're going to do a bit of a reshuffle because I think we've got better people we can now put into different roles. So we now need to figure out who's going to be doing what in the government's areas. There goes the arachnids. They're getting pretty wild. They haven't done anything bad just yet. Okay, the free market. Zeminar territories violated borders and declare war on us. Now, Zeminar territory is one of the bug factions, I think. Fate stratagem. Okay, so we're sort of, yeah, this is going to be a bit tricky. All right. Non-aggression pact, that's okay. Now, it's going to get, yeah, it's this one here. This one here. Let's move that one up. Just keep them all happening. Keep this one coming down as well. So the bugs are on the march. I'll just start to plug the gaps. We can't really dig in well across here. That's rocky plains. This is just sand plains, sorry. And so this one here, you can see there, we've got maximum trench is only 50 there. This one's also just sand as well. So unfortunately, these aren't great locations. This is grassy plains, which allows us to entrench to 75. Rocky is better. This one we do get up to 100. So staying on the rocks would be better. This one is also just sand plains. That's rock. Is that sand plains? That's rocky plains. Let's move that one across. That one is rocky. Get that one off the sand. Bring this one down as well. Oh, gosh, what do we do with this? There's just nothing for us to sit on to protect all this. I think I just have to sleep where I am. I've got this one as well. This big mountain here. Let's just leave that, I think. Yeah, we're going to need to get either armoured cars, and we're getting good industry. So we're getting good stuff happening through here. And we were going to, now that we know where the first threat's going to come from, we will need a full tank group, I'll just need to get armoured cars or tanks assigned to all the different groups. But I want side skirts for that. We have a lot of work to do here, guys. Now that that's actually been declared, I think I can still hold on at these locations. Like this one here, for example, will have dug right in, so it's actually got entrenchment there of 250 because it's in the high mountains. So that one really shouldn't be able to be attacked easily. It would take a lot for that to actually be impacted. So, got 3 decisions. New director of the Model Design Council. So this is actually where Began has got a suitability rating of 0. Laura from the 1st Machine Gun. So both the machine gun guys want to take this particular role. But we have other people involved as well. So if we just go back out again and go back to our management screen, go back to leaders. And if we have a look at I'll just get rid of diplomacy, so we're not looking at that one. If we look at the technical skills, there's different things in through here. So technician, if we go on, I don't know if it'll tell us if we hover over it. No, it's not going to do it. These should be sort of what we need for that role. In fact, if I go back out to just click on one of them, just hover over technician here. So this is used in the Model Design Council and for danger events. So leaders with this skill have a good understanding of the kind of mechanical devices and machinery. So we need somebody that's got a high intelligence to sort of be able to make use of this. And unfortunately, the 2 guys that we have, so Laura's only cap 2, and Began is, where's Began? Began's cap 3. So Began's a little bit better. What's his intelligence? His intelligence is high. He's just not using it. He's not using his intelligence. So, hi, Ellen Devout. How are you going? So, we've got the... so this is why he would be a good candidate, ultimately, because of his intelligence. He would learn super fast. So that's actually a viable position to put him in. But if we have a look at the others, I'm just going to exit that one. And if we have a look at... who else should we look at through here? Sick. Sick has got a little bit there in technician. His intelligence is good. His science he is building, and inventor he is building slowly. So is there anyone better in that role? And he's only cap 3 as well. Now we actually have the cap 4s. So we've got our secretary who has got... already, look at the intelligence here. So I'm thinking of actually putting him into the role of doing military research, just because he will learn so fast. So science and inventor, even though he's got no basic skills there, he will pick that up really, really quickly. So for me, that's actually something that I think that we do. We put him into military, and we take Sick out of military and put Sick into model. So just switch him sideways, and I think that works. So let's go and do that. So we're going to first of all call Sick, and you're being relieved, and you're going to a different job. All right. So he's being moved across. So he's in the reserve pool. Now we're going to wait. We have to wait for next turn before Sev can then come through. So we'll just go and just go back to the map and look at the decisions. And so Stickers here. Look, the suitability rating there of 33, and we'd have to give him this job. So we'll just appoint that.
Roger that.
So that's all good. So he's now across into the Model Design Council. And now the task priorities, again, we've got discover model priorities is 50%, design model priorities is 50% as well. So what we want him to do is we want him to be a little bit on discovery, because we do actually have a whole lot of different sorts of things we want him to go and do as well. But it's mainly going to be changing the models when we need them changed. So again, if we're not doing anything here, they'll just go back up into this. But I still want to have this one thumping along. So I'm just going to go confirm that one. So that's good. Now the Model Design Council, this is where he gets to start to redesign different things. And at the moment, I'm going to go no new orders, because I want to wait until we've actually got those better guns before we actually start to really start to do anything. So I'm just going to go no new orders for now, and that way everything should then go back into him actually sort of finding new profiles for us, or the new types. So if we go into types, the different types. So at the moment we have machine guns. We can get, if we can start to try to get like quad machine guns and things like this would be really, really useful. And the mechanized quad machine guns eventually. So these are things that he can now start to find. Mechanized artillery. Actually, we can't do that one yet. We have to discover it. Actually, we have to discover this first, the bazookas, etc. So having him finding these things as it goes would be useful. So we'll just keep things going. Like at the moment, we've got the light tank. He can then look for the medium tank as an example. So that's all good. So he can then just start to do those. That's all the Model Design Council. It does all that stuff. Food is low. Oh, geez, it is too. Thank you for saying that. Gosh, that's actually terrible. Wow. Good catch. So that's actually really gone bad. We may need to up what we're doing with the food. The fact that we're losing that much. So I wasn't going at full amounts there. I might just go to trade actually and just buy some food. Oh, even the money's terrible. Well, we can sell off rare earths.
Yes, sir.
So we'll do that. Then we can buy in some food as well.
Yes, sir.
So we'll ramp up our production. Gosh, it might be an idea to even look at constructing the new dome. I think we might do this. Got all these things we sort of need done. Start the upgrade. We can always just knock it backwards if we don't need it, and we're going to probably need to get more water as well. So I'll put the water back up to 100% production. We're still a long way off maximum with the water. Okay, so we should be able to now, that should arrest things a little bit there. And yeah, we'll just keep it going. So we just need to now go forward one more turn. Are these bugs going to attack yet? Here they come. They're not moving up yet. Lost joint struggle. What happened there? We lost one regime feed. I'm not sure what happened there. I just have to get going. So I won't get too caught up in that one, but we need a new person in charge of the Military Research Council. So this is Ronnie. Ronnie's got a rating there of 35. He's got very high invention skills. His intelligence isn't great. I'm going to exit out of that one. But it was actually, who did we want to put in there? I forget who we were going to put in that particular role. Oh, that's right. We were going to go to our secretary, give you a call, relieve you, and give you a better job. There he is. So suitability is 44 there, and we'll keep that one. So he'll actually end up, we'll fulfill this job promise. So we'll appoint him into that role. That's got it. That's got it sorted. So everyone wants that job. It's a big job. Anyway, he will be the best one for it. So that's all now been sorted, which is good. We're building that up, which is fine. This is energy is now starting to come down a little bit, so we'll need to go and pick that up as well. We're still getting good industrial points. I do need to take this back off them at some point. I know that. So the ammunition is now sort of thumping along as well. So we've got like a heap of maximum storage there. The oil is going backwards a little bit. That's okay. All right, I think that we'll just keep on waiting now for these things to come through, and then we'll just wait for our Model Design Council. If we have a look back at our reports, go back to organisations. So we've got the Model Design Council is we're not doing any model designs. We're just doing research for those. Just so everything is being placed back into here. So transferred 67 back out from designing out to this way. The military research. So we only did a small amount there because we didn't have a leader for that last turn, but now we'll be back on top of things again. So this will be fine. So we'll just wait a couple more turns and then we get the guns. Let's just run forward a little bit, just so we can then do the Model Design Council stuff all in one go. Should be 2 turns, I would think. I don't like this build up. They could be getting more angry too. Okay, research now complete in heavy industry. That's good. Discovered. Okay, we've now got the APC, so we can actually now use APCs in our groupings. That's good. So he's discovering different types that we can then sort of make use of. So generate 3 new stratagems. Nothing much there. Have you got an embassy? That's not bad. I might throw that in there actually. Let's just see how we're going. What's their? What do they think of us? 83. They are friendly. All right, let's go across and just use that strat card. So if we just go back across to Majors and Embassy. Difficulty is up there, actually. Yep, no, refused. Okay, that's no good. A shame, but anyway, it's worth trying. Enact the festivities law. So again, I'm just going to lean back and let them do their own thing.
Order received.
Yep, that's okay. It's all right. Just let that one sort of happen. Okay, so we're going to now a new target. So we've got what else do we need here? We need housing. So I'm going to go that way next. So we'll start to now sort of get through this research. And again, we've now done one more discovery, but I still need to get the guns. So I'm just going to go to no new orders. And if we have a look at the reports again for the organisations and go back to military research, maybe 2 more turns. Yeah, so he's actually just needs to pick up his skills a little bit here with with being able to do the extra research. So yeah, it might be 2 more turns before we get the Gore small arms. It may be okay. Let's have a quick look and see. Yeah, see, he's getting a little bit of invention skills, so it's coming up a little bit. Needs science as well for this one. It's all right. He's learning. He's just learning the ropes. He's only just stepped into that role. How are we going? Oh, the food is absolutely terrible. And we can't run out of food. So that means we have to try to make more money again. I'm going to raise the taxes. If we can. Increase income tax.
Copy that.
Nope. Didn't work. Okay, what else do we have that we can do? I need money. I'm going to have to go back and sell things again. These are worth nothing anymore. Metal. I've got a lot of metal. I can sell that for a fair amount.
Yes, sir.
So we'll sell some of that. And we'll go back and buy food.
Yes, sir.
Let's get on top of it a little bit. Meritocracy tends to produce many cards to improve leaders. Have you gotten any yet? We do have some, but I'm not. I've actually got to rush it a little bit, so I'm sort of going to try to rush through to at least get Gore's small arm, so I can at least set that up before I leave. Otherwise, I'll completely forget. So I will just keep on rushing forward. I won't be checking things too much just yet. We need that new food farm set up fairly soon. Actually, do we need any? No, machines were fine. We were okay with machines. Deadly alien pathogen outbreak in Dasburg. That's not good. 4 new stratagems. Low leader relation. Alright, nothing much we can do about that one. Alright, so the reason I hate those meritocracy type things that we had to pick up like an extra 10 points or whatever in meritocracy, we haven't had any decisions at all, and you've got to remember them, that's actually what you're trying to do. Alright, okay, so we've got food is now going up. Okay, so it looks like we've just finished this one, maybe. Yeah, zone that's now constructed. Alright, so this will then go back up again. So we'll leave that one where that is. Water looks to have... No, it's actually just level where it is at this stage. So we might need to go and get more water as well. Water is going to be a bit of a critical resource on this map. In fact, what we could do is try to get down to... There's a water source down here somewhere. If we can get a hold of that into that lake, that would be great. And there's another one over here, I think, which may be even... It's more yeah, they're too far away for us to get hold of. There's no rainfall as such. This is a desolate world. Alright, so decisions. These employees should get help. Yep, we'll install the special gyms.
Copy that.
No change there. And deadly alien pathogen outbreak. So we must have priority. Let's just see if we can do anything here.
Aye, aye, sir.
And that was, yeah, we lost a lot of population there. Failure, yep, didn't work. All right, that's what you live on. When you live on a death world, that's what you end up getting. So that's just par for the course, unfortunately. Everything else is going up, which is good. We've got good industrial points, which is fantastic. We're still waiting on that. Just double check our organisations. Military research, yeah, 1 more turn. Actually, it might even be 2 more turns. It says progress 97%. So hopefully next turn. Let's just go and see what happens. Now, upgrading your infantry is quite easy. So I just want to get the model design council started on the infantry. 4 decisions. There we go. Got Gauss small arms has now been researched. That's great. We also discovered gas-powered small arms. Fantastic. So we've got both of these. In fact, I might as well grab that as well. Just thinking. So thinking out of the box, question of how allow less encumbrance for our soldiers due to ammunition carrying. Come up with the gas container to launch the bullets from our small arms. So we discovered and researched in one go. Good stuff. So if we go back across into the decisions, I can't afford it. I just cannot. I just don't have any money. Just go yes on that one. National budget allocations. I'm not going to change these. Just go no changes for now. Military Research Council task priorities. So again, no changes there.
Yes, sir.
Now the research, this research field, the gas-powered small arms, I can get that one really fast. So do we want to do that? If I just go back into tech, I should be able to get that in one turn. You can see there the research cost is 160 BP. This tech allows the following prerequisites: carbine. So it gives me, instead of having the rifles, the basic rifles, sorry, there's carbine there. So it will make these a little bit more effective. So use compressed gas to launch bullets, allowing for much smaller ammunition. Actually, that's different again, isn't it? With the Gauss weapons here. So we've got automatic rifles there. Actually, automatic rifles are... So I don't need that. Automatic rifles... Yeah, so we went from carbine to automatic rifles then to gas-powered small arms, which is actually still needs the... I don't think that's going to help us. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to do what we have to do. So let's now go for side skirts as the next thing that we research. So we'll just go back across, close that one off, because it looks like the gas-powered small arms is more for the carbines. I'm not sure if it will actually impact the other bits and pieces. But if we just go straight down to where are you? The high-speed machine. There we go. Side skirts. The high-speed machine gun is another one that I do definitely want. Actually, where's that? High-speed machine gun is back up here. This is a fast one. I'll throw that one in now. I'll get that one done first. So we'll get that so that our machine gunners can be better.
Yes, sir.
So we'll get that one done. That should be a couple of turns to get that one. But in the meantime, we can now start with our Model Design Council. So we go back into our reports. We go back into Model Design. So we'll just get this one set up and then we'll call it quits. That's at this stage. So Model Design Council, we'll give SICK a call. So at the moment, everything is just being put into Discovery. But we will now call and we will change the priorities. So we go to Model Design in here. So we need to set up, so I'm just going to click on OK. We've got a problem with our infantry. So if we have a look, so these are all the different models that we currently have, including the new APC, which we haven't actually designed a model for yet. But when we have a look at the actual, if you go to management screen and look at the models and then have a look at I'll just go to all. And if you look at design, this is actually the starting point to have a look to see. The structural design that you see through here has got like a, this ranges from 70 to up to 130. And so if it's essentially over 100, it means that it's above average. If it's lower than 100, it's below average. 82 is really, really bad. So this is terrible. And then the base design, this one ranges from 70 to 100 when it first starts. And so in this case, these riflemen are at 86, and that's when so this was about average for that. But the structural design is something you cannot change, and so they're always going to be poor. And so we have two choices when we design something. We can either completely start from scratch and try to get a completely new model designed, which is what we're going to do here, or we can make it and just build on top of the previous one. So for example, the Recon buggy has got very, very good structural design. Just work on the previous one and just sort of home and hose. So that's actually what we would do there. On the second page, even the tanks are actually good. So I would just work on top. This is a much faster way to go. The machine gunners are fine as well. So I just work on the existing design, but not for the riflemen. They're just too weak. So we go back to the map. We go back to, we're going to start development. You can see there the cost is either going to be 60 BP to build it if we just build on what's already there, or 240 BP if we start a completely new design. So but we start development. And so we make a brand new design, or we build upon the rifleman. A brand new design is a complete reset of all of those numbers. So we're going to select that one. And in this case, we have, actually, there's the Gauss rifle there. So we've got the Gauss rifle. So this one's got, so it goes from slug thrower, 50 firepower. Some of the, like the mutants and stuff could have those sorts of things. But the Gauss rifle is 160 firepower. So we've now got the Gauss gun. So we'll select that one. And then we have the combat armor goes from 50 to 100 to 200 armor strength. So definitely go combat armor. And so this is going to be a much, much better model for us. And so we're going to just kind of click on OK. And I think at this stage, guys, I'm going to call it quits now because I've got to get going. But that's at least we now have that one sort of established. I'm really, really interested now to see what we end up with. So there's a lot going on here. Sorry about that. I can't really get to all of these different questions that you guys have got this time. Hopefully next time. It's not. We answer a fair few. Making the blueprint first might make more sense, says Leo. Actually, that's true. That's true. We could have. We could do that. That's more for more. The blueprint is something I don't think we can do that one effectively for those sorts of low level things. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I will catch you guys tomorrow if you're around. Thanks for watching. I might even come back later on today and play something. I'm not sure what it is yet. There's a few videos I wanted to make. Just thinking it out aloud. I wanted to go back and like Slytherin has just taken over the Warhammer. What's the game? Blood Bowl. They've just taken over the Blood Bowl franchise, and I wanted to. I've been just playing a little bit with the old Blood Bowl games to sort of see why Blood Bowl 3 rates so poorly. Which is of interest. So I'm thinking of even making a video about that, but I'll have to sort of play it a little bit longer again. It's been a little while since I've played Blood Bowl. I do enjoy that game. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Oops.